I said, are we live? Well, if we live, let's get started into his house.
All righty, everybody. Minister Bubba Derek here. I just want to do this real quick. It's 4:39. So let's go ahead and get it. Let's just go ahead and get this. I'm going to rock it for you. Stop looking, listen. Please stop resisting. It's a new day.
Hey.
Let's try a new way. Jesus put an offer on the table. And everyone out there is now able to come home with God in your heart. You're never alone. If you believe me, you don't need that weed. Give Jesus a hug and put down those drugs. The victory over the death is already won. So why are you picking up that gun? If your spirit is activated and fake, why do you need that alcoholic drink? Because the devil tells you, he rules you, he fools you. But the minister is here to school you. I'm here to preach. I'm here to teach. And it's you I'm trying to read through this song that I composed. When Jesus comes back, only God knows. Are you ready? Or are you sent heavy?
Are you ready? Or are you sent heavy?
You won't be if you follow me. I'm more than that. Oh God, what can I say about thee? You still love us sinners and you offer your grace for free. I'm not worthy, but you still search me out of a life of sin. And with Jesus' help, I know I can win. I love serving my Lord. He opens the door to a relationship with God. This is the only way in. In the name of Jesus, I always pray and I lay myself as a footstool for the lost demons. I know that for it's not true to be a believer, but I'm not with my soul and the hands of the deceiver. A wicked devil who brings up their foot trouble. I put my desires on ice and I'm for reaching paradise. A day with no pain, no stress. You gave me the way, and now I'm blessed. You can test me, as the devil stress me. But baby, hell is one place I don't want to see. So stop, look, and listen. Please stop resisting. It's a new day. Let's try a new way. Are you ready, or are you set heavy? Stop, look, and listen. Please stop resisting. It's a new day. Let's try a new way. Minister, Brother Derek. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Peace, everyone. This is Minister Brother Derek. I'm coming at y'all real. And that's what I did. It's really hard to be a Christian in 2020. Yes, it is. Everybody seems to have a devil.
You say it's spinning?
And we don't get no respect in the world. We are considered weak. We are considered strong. We are considered dumb for believing in the book. But yet these people have no moral. And you see what a brother's going to. We get no credit. So
I'm looking at it on the phone. It looks fine now.
Who are thinking on the Jesus? I get it. Every day I dance before the Lord. So I take the name of Jesus like an extension cord. I walk around a stripe that's on with my name. This is the book of life. Let my light shine. Let it broadcast worldwide. I let Jesus be my guide. And if he lets me live another day, I continue to come to the people and say, stop being selfish, stop saying that, come to God. And start winning. I roll with the Lord who is in control. Heaven is my goal, this earth is a certain level. I help my fellow man deal with the devil.
Hey, y'all think we can stream both at the same time?
Get away from my God.
You think we can stream? No, it'd be the same channel though.
You will do the things that God can't stand crimes on. Every day, I've been reborn. I've been hit with many opportunities. I cannot remain in unity with the Holy Father.
Sometimes I wonder, is it worth the bother?
I remain divided, but it feels like I'm missing out. Most of the people that I meet who lie, stealing, cheat, seem content, while Christians like me, our time is spent struggling. It should be the other way around. I'm not complaining, but I can tell someone
who's living it up to give it up.
When they're posting high, going right is a headache. There's got to be a better road today.
Hey.
You know a middle ground between Jesus and Satan. I know who to follow me. I'm not debating, but what I'm waiting for. Satan's winning the the battle. But God is winning the war. Every day I dance before the Lord, so I think that you see like an extension cord. I welcome all the stripes as long as my name is in the book of life. Let the light shine.
Let it broadcast worldwide.
I'll let Jesus be my guide, and if he lets me live.
Sorry I'm late, y'all. I decided to put a certain tie on.
Stop being selfish. Stop saying that. Come to God and start winning. I roll with the Lord, He is in control. In the heaven is my goal, this earth is the first level. I help my soul man deal with the devil. He's a liar, he's a fraud, his desire is to keep me away from my God. It's a struggle every day to stay on course. I'm behind the enemy line, so I use the word of God as my force, my resource.
Hey.
Becoming the means to the negativity that's around me. The devil has a bounty on my head. Sometimes I dread coming outdoors.
Y'all know something?
I've been repping before, but it's okay.
Let me fix this.
She drives to distract me physically, financially, but these things don't
Close all that up.
I turn my back to the beat. It's not easy.
Close that chat room up.
So I always want what we can't have. A material means nothing to me. Hey, don't make me laugh. A few of your friends with a difference is all show. Cause both of these things will take me where I got to go. But if I cheat on still, I'll lose my protection. For a house or election, to be under the direction of a sick demon. Soul is to own my soul, no thanks. I roll with the Lord who is in control. Every day I dance before the Lord, so I say things to me like an instant.
Hey, Liz.
I welcome all the stripes as long as my name is in the book of life. Let my light shine, let it broadcast worldwide. I let Jesus be my God, and if he lets me live another day, I continue to come to the people and say, stop being selfish, stop sinning. Come to God and start winning. Minister Brother Derek, let's get it. Welcome to the Minister Brother Derek Show, and I am Minister Brother Derek. I just want to say that I love Jesus, and that's the title of this song. I love you, Jesus. We'll follow you wherever you lead us. I love you, Jesus. Let the devil deceive us. Can't get enough.
Hey,
I love my
Jesus.
Jesus. But people say to keep it real. But here's the deal. If you're not saved, you're missing out. If you're not born again, your future is in doubt. Your body wasn't made to last.
I love you,
It's what
Jesus.
you used to have. Your flesh will rot, but your life will not.
I love you,
Your soul will go on
Jesus.
forever. So you better realize that you need God, or you will be
I love you,
by the pain of a
Jesus.
flame that never goes out. The pits of hell, where they
I
keep
love
up,
you,
there's no release.
Jesus.
Not for a moment of peace. The agony and pride.
I love you,
And someone in the
Jesus.
background singing, burn, baby, burn. This isn't normal.
I love
baby,
you,
burn. I'm gonna walk
Jesus.
in and burn. No. But seriously, though, this will happen. If Jesus comes back
I
and
love
finds now,
you,
see, no one knows the time of day. But if you follow the word, it won't matter
I
anyway.
love you,
Because in heaven, no one will ever be sick or shed a tear. So in this ground, I show no fear.
I love
What you
you,
gonna do? Kill me? Make me a martyr? Give me a head start? Put me on the fast track?
I love
So
you,
keep stacking. Keep stacking. Keep on
Nothing
stacking.
must be going to get the sermon in effect.
And I just want to say,
Let's switch to animation.
Follow you wherever you lead us.
Let's get it. I love you, Jesus.
I love you, Jesus. Don't let that devil deceive us. I love you,
I love
if
you,
you think that what's
Jesus.
listen to your neighbors is weird, think of foreign country respectful.
I love you, Jesus.
People don't know God. Only biblical concepts like a parallel.
I love you, Jesus.
Americans believe in one Lord, one superior being.
I love you, Jesus.
But we spend our time fulfilling the desires.
I love you,
We won't give
Jesus.
Jesus our best effort, but we ask for blessings that we don't
I
deserve.
love you,
And you wonder
Jesus.
why our prayers are not heard. In church, you put down those you really
I
admire.
love you,
You know you have a
Jesus.
desire to make that easy money. Drive the fancy car.
I
Feel like a
love you,
star. When you enter the bar or club, deep down, your spirit isn't for
I
God or
love
His
you,
ways.
Jesus.
So why should anybody listen to a darn thing you say?
I love you, Jesus.
Follow you wherever you lead us. I love you, Jesus. Or let the devil deceive us. I love you, Jesus. We'll follow you wherever you lead us. Let the Holy Spirit lead us. And one more time. I love you, Jesus. All right, y'all, let's get it. Let's get to the Bible study. The minister, Brother God Show. Let's get it.
All righty. All righty. Let me stop this animation. All righty. For those of you who wonder when you hear me say the OBS, this is what I'm referring to. Y'all know that this is our screen here. Now we can go into the settings and it's not on. I'm not using it. So you can see our base canvas resolution is 2560 by 1440. Our output is 2560 by 1440. So when people say we're not in 2K, that's what 2K is. But we're on this StreamYards, and I believe because we're on a free version, I believe we in 720. So we're not gonna have no problems. There shouldn't be no hesitation. There shouldn't be no stuttering. But y'all see the OBS on your screen. I was able to, we can still use the things off the OBS. We can still show the animations and things like that. The camera is on the camera and the microphone. Even though the microphone is still working on the OBS, you see the dial going up and down. And I hope that it's using the technology that I put on here. Because I have the air conditioner on. I listened to some of the show this morning. Or should I say this afternoon? I ain't been asleep yet. I've been up since midnight yesterday. So I don't want to have no problems with the sermon today. Those of you who watched the show this morning, I think we was on from 2 to 7. Those of you who watched the show, y'all saw me sit here and have a verbal joust with a wide variety of trolls. They all kept telling me that, well, Brother Derek, how can you be a minister? You don't just let us say what we want to say, and you supposed to just take it. You ain't supposed to say nothing back. I don't know where they learned that from, but that's not what the Spirit tells me. I told the Spirit when he asked me to come to this sector. Just from watching the person he told me to watch. I said, these people crazy. You sending me into the lion's den. These people don't want to learn nothing. He said, you got to try anyway. And so that's what we do. But for somebody to tell me that I'm not a minister, I'm not holy, I'm not anything, you show me what you do that's better. Because in order to classify somebody, you must be in that class. Sometimes says, I wouldn't worry about her, BD. I watched her show about how she was bragging about her love life. She buried herself. You said, I'm surprised she's not embarrassed about it. Well, she gave us the 2 topics for our sermon today. What did Paul say about marriage? We're going to get to that. And also, why is it that the devil and his demons won't leave us Christians alone? Why is it that they go out of their way to try to make our lives a living hell? They won't change. Okay, if you want to go to baby hell, see ya. But why you got to keep trying to drag us with you? I don't understand it. It's the crabs in the barrel. I see you. You all happy. I see you. You doing your thing. I got to come mess it up. I got to come attack you. I got to come jump on you. I got to come just call all kinds of trouble. Why is it that when we see somebody doing something, why do we feel we got to go jump in it? Why can't we do our own thing? Why do we feel that we have to jump on somebody else? Why do we go out of our way to cause trouble for people that's trying to do good? Is it because we know that we can't do it? And since you miserable, you got to make us miserable. Because that's what you're going to be. You're going to be in baby hell, Sheol, Hades, whatever you want to call it. You're going to be down there on a slow burn being miserable. You're miserable here on earth. The only time you feel good is when you put somebody else down. But I put the challenge out there. We on, what is this called? Oh, it's in the way. I can't even get to it. All right, stop screen sharing. Let's go to invite. Copy. That is our StreamYard link. If anybody got any questions or want to call in, I put it in the chat twice. Nobody can't say they ain't seen it. Bookmark it if you feel. I like having that OBS there, so I'm going to bring it back. Share. Now, I already got our first article. I'm loading it up now. Why is it that Satan won't leave us Christians alone? I already told you that Satan was supposed to come down here and train us up. But he was going to be under us. He didn't want that. He saw us being made, and he thought we was inferior because we can't fly. We're physical beings. He's a spiritual being. He doesn't realize that even though we don't have the capabilities that he has, we still got the same breath that God breathed into him when he made him and the other angels. He breathed that same breath in us. Satan can't beat you. In a one-on-one battle, Satan can't beat you. Only you can beat you. He can't beat you. He can discourage you. He can get into the mind of the people around you. But he can't beat you. I tried to show that last night as I let all these trolls come into the chat. My regular people wasn't here. So I didn't have to worry about them being uncomfortable. And it was 2 a.m. I let them come in. I let them come in. And let them say whatever they want to say. And I answered everything that they asked. I answered every question that they asked. They didn't answer none of the questions that I asked. In any debate, if you ask questions nobody can answer, you won. Everywhere in the world. Except with these trolls. If you ask somebody something and they answer you, and they ask you a question back and you can't answer, you got to crack jokes. You got to insult them. You got to deflect. You lost. There's no way you can win. A person that keeps hounding me, I had her on the phone. She wouldn't answer any questions. I had her in the chat last night. She kept asking me to come over. They want me to come over there. Come over there for what? You don't answer no questions. I'm giving you reason after reason after reason. And you're not denying what I'm saying. That's why I say it's the mental. Didn't deny one thing I said. How did you win something? You didn't deny not one thing I said. How did you win something? You know, the woman from Atlanta hit me up on the Hangouts. And she said to me that she seen that woman's video and that I mentioned her. I mention you, so what? Y'all mention Tommy all the time. Y'all mention Vic all the time. Y'all mention Chucky all the time. Are they supposed to come at you every time you say that name? Hey, somebody said you said my name. What do you want? That's a sign of weakness. Why do these women feel that if somebody says something, mention their name, whether it's true or not? If it's the truth, why do you have to respond? Because, see, a troll, I put my email in the chat last night. A troll named Chris somebody sent me 4 video clips of RE show. I didn't hit not one of them. Didn't care. But I sent them. I took a screenshot and I sent it to the woman in Atlanta. And I said to her, see, look, this person probably sent you the same thing. I didn't respond to it, but you are. If somebody says your name, why do you get mad? If you did something and somebody talks about it, how can you get mad? And I told her, I showed you that Triple Darkness sent me on you. Sent the link and everything to come get you. The same way that guy Chris somebody sent those videos from the woman last night. So I could see him and then go back at her. You got people that like to start stuff. But I asked her, knowing that Triple sent me against you, knowing that Triple sent me against Jack, knowing that you look stupid when you tried to get them to gang up on me, and I had nothing to do with it. They hated each other. Triple had a problem for what happened 2 years ago. Triple still got the problem of him losing his wrench. He think it was Nia's fault. R.E. asked me to apologize for something I said to her, but she said she's not going to apologize to Nia. Where that makes sense at? You caused all this because you wouldn't apologize to Nia, but you expect me to apologize to you. You want me to come on your show and give you content. You streaming me for content. And then you turn around and say, we don't have no views. Well, why do you need us for your content? Because I looked on Triple's channel. He made 4 straight videos against me. The last video was 5 days ago. But I guarantee you, out of her last 10, I'm probably 7 or 8. You look on my channel, you're not going to see her 7 or 8. Out of the last 8, I should say. But you say you want to make up. But then when you get asked questions, you don't answer them. So we can't come to the table and sit down. How can we answer them? If she wanted me to leave her alone, then why don't she just do that? It was 3 months before she made a video about me. Now she made like 8 or 9 in days. Why? Because Triple mentioned her and I went to show Triple. He claims that he shut me down. I showed my whole page. You know how many videos that I got? In the 800s, how many I got? In the 1000s, how many I got? In the 2000s, how many I got? In the 4000s, I got one in the 6000s. The video that she keep trying to get Vic to watch, you realize that I got 2,100 people watch me on my birthday? The video that got knocked down by somebody who likes the lady in Atlanta, and I say it again because I don't know if it was her, but I know it was somebody in the camp because we got knocked down in the middle of the stream. Somebody's feelings was hurt by what I was saying. It wasn't YouTube. Somebody's feelings was hurt. Hold on a sec. Somebody sent me a hangout. Mm-hmm. Mandy's daughter has been diagnosed with cancer. Can everybody pray that she has a good MRI? Can everybody in the chat please pray? She's a family member. She doesn't come every show, but she's a BD family member. She was with us from the beginning. If y'all remember when we had Miss Oates and Miss Minnie, you know, we had Taz when we first started. Mandy was a part of it. Mandy was here every day. We can just take a second to pray for her daughter. Pray that she has a good MRI reading. Jesus, in your sweet name, please bless Mandy's daughter. She's very young. Let her go into remission so that she can make a difference on this planet. I know you got a plan for her. So let her recover so she can do that plan that you set for her. We all have a plan. She might be our next president. She might be a great teacher. And she might teach somebody who might be president. I'm asking you to bless her, Lord. I know you got the power. Just take a few seconds to bless that young lady. In Jesus' sweet name, thank you, God the Father. Amen. Liz says she'd be praying. I hope Manny don't mind, because y'all know how people do in this sector. But hopefully, God will hear your prayers, because we know he not going to hear the innuendo and the jokes from the heathens. But I hope that our power in prayer will help this young lady. No child deserves, not this young in her life. She ain't had a chance to live yet. We don't know what she's going to be. It's not fair. It's not. Naya says, I recall her making mention of her daughter's illness last year. Best wishes for recovery. I invited her to come on in. I hope she did, and I hope that she sees that we do care. I hope she sees that we do care. You know? Alrighty, let's get back to the show. We got two topics today, and both of them came off of the show last night. Why is it that people feel the need? They feel it's their job to hold you down. It's their job to keep you at a standstill. They don't want to do anything. But they want to make fun of you when they're in the same burrow you in trying to get out of. They want to pull you back in and make sure you don't get out, because maybe you could get out and figure out a way to get them out, but they don't see it that way. They see if you get out, it make them look bad. You know, oops. You know, I actually had somebody say in the chat last night, you always talking about what we can do. What do you do? What do? I give you the solutions. I got the ideas. I just need somebody to do the work. One person can't do it all. And I keep admitting, I don't have the charisma. Or maybe people make me think I don't have it. But when I come and tell people these ideas, they blow it off. That's why I think I don't have the charisma. Because when I tell people these things, they go, oh, sounds good. And then they blow it off. They don't get energized. Well, yeah, that sounds great. We can do this. I don't seem to have that power. But if somebody has that charisma with me behind them, we can get things done. If somebody got resources, with me behind them, we can get things done. But I make the same challenge to the person who said that last night. Show us videos that you got up where you actually helping people. Show me what you've done. I volunteered at drug rehabs. I volunteered at church pantries. I've been on the street talking to people. I've seen drugged out women who have kids that got holes in their shoes and got holes in their clothes, and they wear the same clothes every day. And I actually took the time to find out who that was and find a relative that could tell me the age of the kid so that I could buy them shoes, so that I could buy them clothes. And I've done it many a time. What have you done? We just had an explosion in Baltimore City this week. We covered it. A gas explosion. I stopped the gas explosion at my building twice. I single-handedly have stopped the drug dealing from being sold out of that red door that y'all see me stand in front of every day. At the risk of being killed by the drug dealers. These are things that I've done. What have you done? The link is in the chat. If somebody went to call in and tell me what they done. I've gone door to door witnessing with the Jehovah's Witnesses and with the evangelicals from the Bible college I went to. I've had people try to sick drugs on me. I had people throw water on me. And all I'm trying to do is get them to come to Jesus. So I've been in the streets of Baltimore City. The last place that I went was Patterson Park. Go check out Patterson Park in Baltimore City. Check out the police blotters from Patterson Park. Check out the projects that's in between Broadway and Eden Street. I've been there, door to door. What have y'all done? Before you make your jokes, what have you done? I can tell you what I've done. What have you done? The countless people I've mentored, the countless drug dealers that I got to go to school, the countless women that I've dated, that I've helped them get through college and made sure they did the homework. How many baby lives I've saved by blocking the door with my body, taking blows, because I'm not going to let that crack addicted pregnant female go out there and get high and kill that baby. What have you done? What have you done? Then don't come to me saying anything if you haven't done none of those things. You're not worthy to even talk to me about that. I know what we need to do to be respected in this country, and y'all won't gather around and do it. You rather just complain. You rather sit there complain, or you rather worry about something. Worrying about the football, worrying about the baseball, worrying about what somebody on social media doing. You like to be distracted. You're comfortable. Then don't complain. It's as simple as that. Don't complain. And when you see somebody trying to do something, either support them or walk away. But why you feel you got to come try to stop people from trying to achieve. Why do you feel you have that right when you're not doing anything? What are some of y'all going to do when you standing before Jesus Christ and he opens that book up and there ain't nothing in there? Because everything you did was selfish. Everything you did was evil. If you do something and then you need a pat on the back from people, you can't say that you did it for Jesus. You can't say you did it for God. You did it for your fellow man, for everybody to give you a pat on the back. It don't count. But I gave $500 to the orphanage. Did you do it and go about your business? Or did you do it and then go brag to everybody? Yeah, y'all gave $500 to the orphanage. Yes, I did. Yeah, 500. Did you really do it for Jesus and God? Or did you do it to get a pat on the back, to get a handshake, to get noticed, to get attention? But that's what I noticed. A lot of these trolls come in here and they try and get attention. And then they go to another chat. Yeah, I went in that chat and gave them hell. What do they say when they leave this chat? What do they say when they go into another person's chat after they get tore up in this chat? Because everybody that come in here, we actually ask them, well, what's your issue? And 99.9% of them ain't got one. So they wound up getting destroyed. We had a big troll in here last night who was live streaming us at the same time. She came in here and for the 80th time got destroyed. Totally destroyed. But she thinks she did something. But see, she got a voice in her head that's telling her, people watch you when you come after Brother Derek because he roasts you so bad that people watch. And that's why she keep coming for the punishment. Same thing with Triple. They keep coming for the punishment. They love it. They love the attention that you give them. Question is, why do you give them attention? What's in your mind that make you think that you've been a help to somebody when you intentionally try to tear somebody down? I'm asking the question. Why do you think that you're doing anybody good when you try to tear somebody down that's doing something when you ain't doing nothing? What gives you the right to stop somebody from trying to do good in the community because you know you'll never do good? We're going to get to the other part because, like I said, this sermon is based on what we talked about last night. Those of y'all that haven't watched the video, shame on you. Shame on you. Watch your minister go to bat, take on our challenges. Because that's what we did. Everybody that came in here, they got shut down. Everybody. And I just let them keep talking. And the more they talk, the more I beat them up. I keep telling you, you want to be good. First thing you got to do is listen. Everybody want to talk. You want to be good, you listen. You listen. And then take what they say and throw it back in their face. That's how you win. You don't win by hollering and screaming. You don't win by cursing somebody out. You win by shutting down all their arguments. That's what it means to debate. It don't mean over holler somebody. It don't mean insult somebody. If you can prove that what they saying is stupid, you've already insulted them. Why you gotta call them names? Why do you have to call them names? If we do a show where somebody's saying, we show a video where somebody's saying the earth is flat, not round. I ain't never been in no spaceship. I don't know what the earth look like. Maybe it is flat, maybe it ain't. But I'm smart enough to know that gravity holds you to this earth, whether it's flat or round. So what difference does it make? You got people that beat you up. God darn it, the earth is flat. I know the earth is round. They want to beat you up. Like, who cares? Are you on the earth? Are you doing well on the earth? Well, why does it matter whether or not it's flat or it's round? But you got people that want to meet. Where you live at? I'm coming to see you. I'm going to prove to you when I beat you in your head that the earth is round. Why does it have to come to that? I'm just asking the question. Why does it have to come to that? Fact of the matter is that there's an agitator. And this agitator waits until you in a situation where you want something and you can't get it. And he comes and whispers in your ear. If you get rid of your coworker, then you can be the supervisor. How you gonna get rid of him? Well, I can frame him and get him fired. I can make him disappear. These her husband sure look good. I think I'm a better woman for him. So you start trying to seduce somebody else's husband instead of getting your own. Because the devil tell you in your mind, you look better than her. You can do it. You can steal him. You can tell yourself, I can sell drugs to the men and women who I went to school with, who I grew up with. Well, they dumb enough to take it. I'm dumb enough to sell it. If I don't do it, somebody else gonna do it. Instead of going out there and trying to stop those who do it from doing it. You just say, hey, they do it, I'll do it. I noticed that our numbers drop as I'm talking. You know why the numbers drop? It's not because I'm boring. People getting hurt in their feelings. When I talk, I hurt people's feelings. Now, I put the link in the chat. Somebody didn't like what I said. Why they didn't call in? Why do they leave? I'm asking the question, why do they leave? But you got to realize, whether you think it's fake, fictional, there is a devil out there. And a lot of people say in the book of Job, the devil was told that he can't kill you. And that is true. But he can get in somebody's mind and have them do it. That's why you never underestimate the devil. Because he's patient. He's real patient. He'll let you shine for a minute and think you're doing all right. And boom, he come near you when you least expect it. He come near you when you ain't got no defenses. You can sit there and go up there and steal $5,000. and you out there spending it, having a good time at the fancy restaurants, you at the club, getting the bubbly and getting the first table and all of that. Soon as you get down to $5, you look up on the table, it's a bill there. Oh man, this bill for $300. Doggone it. I got $5. Like, dang. Oh man. Then you got to go out there and steal some more to cover that bill. You didn't know that bill was coming that early, but the devil did. And that ensures that you keep doing this work. Because now you got to go find a way to get that money. You got to go find a way to get that money. And you're going to have to do anything to do it. You got people that say that they Christians. Are you really? Saying it and being about it is two different things. And I keep trying to bring that to y'all attention because you need to hear it. You need to be reminded. A lot of the times we think that we got it together, that we got it in control. In actuality, you are being controlled. The devil wants to pull you further and further away from Jesus Christ and Lord God the Father. He wants to pull you away. How does he do that? By getting you to do the things they don't approve of. It's not brain surgery. It's not brain surgery. If you're sitting here drooling over somebody else's spouse, Jesus said it's better to poke your eye out and enter paradise with one eye than it is to enter hell with everything. It's better if you know you can't stop touching women behinds or touching them. It's better for you to cut that arm off than it is for you to enter hell with that arm. A lot of ministers don't spend time on that because it makes people feel guilty. And it makes them leave the church. And they're not going to donate because they're mad. Preachers sitting there talking about me. I'm not going to sit here and listen to this preacher talk about me. I like to touch women on their butts, whether they like it or not. I'm going to keep doing it. I like to show my cleavage and show my thighs so all the men can look at me. Hoo-hoo-hoo. Preacher say it's wrong. Oh, the heck with him. I'm going someplace else. I'm going someplace that say it's okay. So now you lost the one thing that was bringing you closer to God. You turn away from it, and you go someplace where they'll accept what it is you want to do. You say the heck with Jesus and God. I want to do what I want to do. Yeah, I want to be in the club Saturday night, and I'll stay at the club till it closes. Some places then it don't close, and you'll stay in there till about 8 o'clock. Then you'll come out the club. You can't smoke no more. But I've been in churches. I've seen women sitting in there smell like cigarettes, smell like liquor, funky from dancing all night and grinding. And they come in there and sit in that church with the same clothes on, just like they was Mother Teresa. And when you say something to them, they'll say, God says, come as you are. They'll sit there and go to the Waffle House, eat some breakfast, and then come right to church. Stinking. Hair messed up. Makeup run off. They don't care. And when you ask them, I say it again, they say, God said, come as you are. He said, come as you are. He didn't mean roll out of bed and come in there. At least groom yourself. You're going to be around other people. At least go home and wash up and put some deodorant on. Everybody don't need to know your secret while they in church trying to learn. But when you tell somebody they don't want to hear something they don't want to hear, they get mad. Why do you get mad? You know you're doing wrong. Correct it. You can't do wrong and walk with Jesus and God. You can't do it. You can't have it both ways. You got to have one or the other. Everybody think that they can rationalize and say, well, I can do a little dirt over here and then do some good here and do some dirt over there and do some good here. It don't work that way. Who came up with that? Who came up with that logic? But the devil and his demons, 1/3 of the angels that came down, he ain't by himself. And they got the radio frequency to your head. Ever since Adam and Eve bit that apple, your sinful nature was unleashed. You were made to worship God. You wasn't made to worship yourself. But ever since Adam and Eve took that apple, it's been about themselves. And we are their children, and we have inherited the same thing. And we getting weaker and weaker as we get further and further away from God. Every generation gets weaker. More diseases, more illnesses. And when we try to figure them out and think we're ahead of the game, we get hit with a pandemic. And then you say, how could God let this happen? No, how could you let it happen? You want to blame God for it. How did you let it happen? We create these things. There wouldn't be no CV if the Chinese people wasn't eating bats. There'd be no way for that CV to mutate. That virus ain't designed for us. That virus was designed for animals, and they carry it well. But they want to eat the animals and put that virus in themselves. Eating food without cooking it. Japanese do it too. They eat fish that can kill you if it ain't prepared right. That's sick. If you can't eat it without getting sick, why do you use it? It tastes so good. Death tastes good. There are certain dishes that if it's not made right, you did. Why would you eat it? I remember I saw the Faces of Death in Russia. They have a table where they put enclosed, and there's a monkey's head, and only the head is above the table. And they take mallets, and they take turns beating the monkey in his head till it busts wide open and it dies. And then they eat the brains out the dead monkey. What if that monkey is carrying a disease that's for the monkey? They're not cooking it. They beat it up and then they eat it raw. If that monkey is carrying a disease made for the monkey, if you eat it raw, you could be eating the disease. Nobody want to talk about that. We didn't have crab, because crab was expensive. But I know when we would go out to eat crabs, I would see people, they eat every part of the crab. We was like, what are you doing? They eat every part of the crab. Why are you eating the heads and the fin, and why are you eating it? Why are you not draining the mustard before you eat it? Why are you not wiping off the mustard? The mustard tastes good. But you know the mustard is the dookie. Yeah, it's the best part of the crab. I love it. You'd be surprised the things people do. And then when they get ill, they act like it's a surprise. Like, it wasn't supposed to happen to me. Well, you did it. You know what you're supposed to do, but you do what you want to do. And this is what the devil banks on. Because he told God, these people are not going to worship you. That's why I gave them the apple. That's what he was saying. Now they're going to worship me because I'm going to appeal to their weak side. The weak side is they want to do what you want them to do mentally. But the mind is willing, the flesh is weak. The mind is willing, but the flesh is weak. And 9 times out of 10, the flesh beat the mind. The selfish desires beat your best effort. It's kind of like we walk around as a dam. As long as we keep the wall in good condition and we keep sandbags ready, we can hold off our desires. But when we slack up and start worrying about things we shouldn't be worrying about, cracks start forming in the walls and we not looking at it. So we don't go seal them up. The sandbags, they wash away and we don't replace them. And then we find ourselves in trouble. And we ain't paid God no mind. Then all of a sudden we in trouble. Now we calling on him. He looking at you like, what you calling me for? You ain't thought about me while you was having all that fun? And look what that fun led to. Now you in trouble. Now you want me to come bail you out? Really? I don't see how God can let these things happen. We got all the smog and the pollution, and we got all these things that we dump into the ground and poison the water. The polar ice caps are melting. We doing that. But we say, how can God let that happen? He gave you free will. You got the choice to do whatever you want to do. Can't nobody make you do anything. You have to want to do it. Because see, the challenge is from the devil, you will have to make them do what you say. You're going to have to make them worship you. They won't do it on their own. You got people that still won't wear masks. They see the devastation that this COVID is caused. They won't wear a mask because they don't care about their fellow man. That's why they won't wear a mask. As long as you follow the devil, you ain't gonna have nothing. But let's look at our first story here. Wait a minute. How do we do this? Stop screen sharing. I'm going to put the link in the chat one more time in case anybody have any questions. Let's send it because it seemed like we lost a lot of people. That's okay. We still going to do our show. Let's keep it moving. All right. Y'all see that on y'all screen? Yeah, you can see it. Now let me go see it. Satan will not leave you alone, living in a world filled with devils. Let me blow this up so y'all can see it. Take it up far as I can. All right. Hopefully y'all can see this. Some have said that the devil's greatest trick is convincing the world that he doesn't exist. Satan is the supreme deceiver, striving to rid our minds of his existence and make us believe that all of the Bible's teaching about him is the stuff of myth, legend, and ancient folklore, antiquated stories that have no place in our enlightened and comfortably brave new world. The devil is the father of lies. John 8:44. And the deceiver of nations. Revelations 23:8. He disguises himself as an angel of light. 2 Corinthians 11:4. And he will do whatever is in his power to get us to forget him altogether and to live as if he doesn't exist. As believers, we know Satan exists, but many of us still fall into his subtle trap of ignoring him and hoping he'll leave us alone. But just as we cannot read a page of scripture without running into the sovereignty of God, neither can we read very long without coming face to face with the harsh reality of the power of the evil one. And so we recognize that we cannot completely ignore his existence. We know Satan exists, but many of us still fall into his subtle trap of hoping he'll leave us alone. Because we too often walk by sight and not by faith, thinking we can live our Christian lives by some sort of spiritual inertia. We fall into Satan's trap of thinking he's not really there, or at least if he's not very active. It does seem, after all, to be a much more pleasant thought to believe that he's not around, or at least that we're really not a significant enough target for him to spend his time on. While all true believers know Satan exists, many have succumbed to the notion that spiritual warfare is not that big of a deal. I fear there are even some Christians hearing this now saying to themselves, yeah, okay, sure, I know Satan exists, and yeah, I know spiritual warfare is real, but I don't believe that Satan or his demons are lurking behind every bush, and I don't believe that I can really do anything about spiritual warfare anyway. That's the attitude I most fear for myself, for my family, and for the congregation I serve. If it were not God's, we do wrestle against cosmic powers, spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Ephesians 6:12. These forces of evil have set their sights on all true believers, and they are unrelenting. Paul teaches us that the God of this world has blinded the minds of unbelievers, so they might not see the light of the glory of the gospel of Christ. 2 Corinthians 4:4. The implication is that in having blinded their minds, the devil then focuses his primary work on the followers of his enemy. It would seem to be the case that before we trusted Christ, the devil was certainly our enemy, but not to the degree that he became our enemy after we trusted Christ. If we were blessed to grow up in a Christian home, he was unquestionably the enemy of our family. But after trusting Christ, we gained Christ and his righteousness by being united to him once and for all. As a result, Christ's enemy became our enemy in a more significant way, and he began to take greater aim at us with his flaming arrows in order to try to bring us down. As Thomas Brooks wrote, if God were not my friend, Satan would not be so much my enemy. ordinary but deadly weapons. Although we know that Satan and his eager servants can neither indwell believers nor read nor control our minds, we also know that under the sovereignty of God, they can wreak havoc on us. However, rather than living with the minimalist view of what Satan won't do, and rather than living as a practical beast as if the Holy Spirit is not living and active, and rather than living as reformed determinists as if secondary casualty and secondary means are irrelevant, we must remember that God is sovereign, not only over the ends of all things, but over the means of all ends. The forces of evil have set their sights on all true believers, and they are unrelenting. Therefore, we must make every effort to make use of the means our Lord has given us to fight. He has given us ordinary means of grace, and these are also the ordinary means for our daily warfare, namely the Word of God, prayer, and baptism, and the Lord's Supper. He has given us the Lord's Day. He has given us weekly gathered worship with our family, where we sing and proclaim our battle songs of final victory and affirm the faith once delivered to the saints. We must not underestimate the mischievous work of Satan, designed to keep us from regularly attending these ordinary means of grace. Above all, our Lord has given us himself in Christ, and he has given us the Holy Spirit. And although Satan is not afraid of us, he is terrified of the one within us. And our protector never sleeps nor slumbers. Paul 121, 3-4. And in him we are more than conquerors. Romans 8:37. Because greater is he who in us than he who is in the world. 1 John 44. We cannot be unprepared. We must be prepared. We must acknowledge the war is real and raging all around us. We must be ready to fight. For it is a battle for our hearts, our marriages, our churches, and our children, our time, our talents, our words, our wallets, our motives, our hope, our joy. We cannot pretend these things are off limits to our accuser. We cannot coast through the Christian life. We cannot live as if we are defenseless. We cannot allow ourselves to be unaware of Satan's schemes. We cannot allow fear and anxiety to get the best of us. And we must pray to be strong and courageous because the Lord is with us, for us, and in us. We cannot allow ourselves to be caught off guard, but we too often are because we too often forget about the harsh reality of spiritual warfare. And while we cannot know the mind of God, and while we are not infallible interpreters of the providence of God or the work of the evil one, we know that God is sovereign. We know that Satan is at work, and we know that for those who love God and are called according to his purpose, all things work together for our good, according to the good pleasure of God's will and for God's glory. Romans 8:28. His rage we can endure, and although this world filled with devils should threaten to undo us, we will not fear, for God hath willed his truth to triumph through us. The prince of darkness grim, we tremble not for him. His rage we can endure, for lo, his doom is sure. Our little world shall fell on him. Martin Luther. Since we have been justified by grace alone, through faith alone, because of Christ alone, Ephesians 2:8-10, our Father is conforming us to the image of his Son, Romans 8:29. And just as Jesus was tempted in every way as we are, yet without sins, Hebrews 4:15. So God will allow us to be tempted by the deceiver in manifold ways, 1 Corinthians 10:13. For that reason, Jesus taught us to pray to our Father in heaven, deliver us from the evil one, Matthew 16. We must acknowledge the war is real and raging all around us, and we must be ready to fight. And as the Spirit conforms us, we must become more keenly aware of our enemy's deceitful schemes, so we would neither be outwitted by Satan nor ignorant of his designs. 2 Corinthians 2:11. But instead be more watchful as he prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. 1 Peter 5:8. That we might always escape the snare of the devil. 2 Timothy 2:26. Resting assured that in Christ we will endure to the end by his sustaining grace, because Christ has crushed the head of Satan and his seed, and the God of peace will soon crush Satan under our feet. Genesis 3:15, Romans 16:20. Wait a minute. That's our next story. We ain't ready for that yet. I'll leave it up, though. We ain't ready for that yet. Anybody have any questions? StreamYard link is in the chat. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? Okay. Then let's take a music break, and then we'll come back with part 2. Y'all can cheat. It's on the screen, but I can't see it.
Welcome to the Sunday sermon, everyone. This is Brother Darryl, Minister Brother Darryl. And, you know, I want to come to you, and I want to tell you things that you can use, and things that'll get you to have a connection with Jesus and God. So I wrote this, so I hope y'all enjoy it. So let's get to it. St. John wrote that Satan accuses us believers before God day and night. The Lord depends on us to do what is right, but our flesh is not tough enough to stand alone. We lean on Jesus so that we're no longer prone. See, if you're slack, you're vulnerable to attack. In many ways, men today are slaves to the greediness of his flesh. Money, women, and cars, pornography, and bars. But these are the things that God hates. So he separates and chastises our people to change our ways, humble ourselves and pray. Remember, the house on the hill, you can't take it with you yet. That caddy with the grill, you can't take it with you yet. Those stock and dollar bills, you can't take it with you yet. Only your heart, your thoughts, and your attitude will prove your place in heaven or the fires of hell. I wish you peace, and I wish you well. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, you treat or race. By believing in Jesus, we're all going to the same place. And that's good to know that God loves us all, black or white, short or tall. He only asks us to be more like him. Then you won't want to sin. Let God into your heart and make a fresh start. You have a clean slate. Jesus' blood makes you pure in God's eyes. So stay vigilant and keep the evil and this world at a distance. Ignore the devil's resistance. Keep hoping that you slip. He chips away at your faith and strips away from God's grace. So bring to Jesus, he'll mediate on your behalf. The devil has many demons on his staff, scowling, shouting things in your ear, chipping away at your self-esteem while you daydream. So be alert. Get close to the Father and tell Satan and his army, they don't even bother. But I say this, that house on the hill, you can't take it with you. That caddy with the grill, you can't take it with you. Those stock and dollar bills, you can't take it with you. Only your heart, your thoughts, and your attitude will prove your place in heaven or the fires of hell. I wish you peace. I wish you well. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, your creed or race. By believing in Jesus, we're all going to the same place. People are talking about struggling, saying life is hard, rough, you got to be tough. But there's nothing harder than standing up to God. Evil is rampant. Even in our nation today, morality is gone. That's why our society says no right or wrong. Fulfill your wants. Go along with the crowd and feel the wrath of that time. This country's going to hell in a basket or a casket. And if you speak, you're labeled a fanatic, a Bible quoting, scripture quoting do-gooder who's living in a fantasy world, waiting for a heaven that never comes. But God's will be done. You can't stop it. You're on the wrong side. Swallow your pride and humble yourself. house on the hill, you can't take it with you. That caddy with the grill, you can't take it with you. Those stocking dollar bills, you can't take it with you. Only your heart and your thoughts and your attitude will prove your place in heaven or the Father's hell. I wish you peace and I wish you well. This is Minister Brother Derek, and this is the new theme song for our Sunday sermon in the Bible study. Peace, everybody. Much love to you.
All righty. Nobody had any questions? Why the devil and the demons can't leave us alone? Why we got to always be on attack? Why we can't slack up? Why we can't get comfortable? Why we can't get lazy? That was the first part of the sermon. I don't know how I'm still up. That shows you how much I enjoy coming here to y'all. Because yesterday I fell asleep. But I couldn't let God and Jesus down. I couldn't do it. And seeing how tomorrow, I ordered some mirrors. Y'all know I busted the mirror on the scooter yesterday. It was one of them those polymer whatever. It was like it wasn't glass. It was like some kind of plastic that you could see yourself in. But it cracked. So it ain't real glass, but it cracked. But anyway, I ordered. Really couldn't afford it, but I ordered the 2 mirrors, and of course, it's coming UPS on Sunday, so I have no idea. But I'm gonna go out at 12 o'clock. I'm gonna go out 12 noon tomorrow, and we're gonna make a day of it. And if it's not too late, because I don't know what time he's coming. He might come early, he might come late. But I might ride to the store. I mean, I got stuff, but I might just ride to the store to test the new mirrors out. So like I said, we might have a long day tomorrow. I'm gonna make sure I bring the big power bank so we can keep both cameras going. And while I'm outside, I'm actually going to be setting up the new camera. I couldn't show you yesterday because I didn't cam up, but we're going to take the selfie stick and we're going to stick it behind the seat, and we're going to tie it to the basket that I put on the seat, and I'm going to rig it up so that the camera is over my head. So instead of it being like right here, it's going to be up here as if I had it on my head. We're going to have it up here so that it's going to show I'm not going to be in the picture. That's the idea, for me to be under it so that I'm not in the picture, so people can stop making fun of me. Hey, Jay. Jay from Jersey says, who is that a picture of? He says, I'm in the backstage on StreamYards. So like I say, that's what I'm going to be doing while I'm outside tomorrow waiting. We're going to be rigging up the new angle. That was clickbait that I used yesterday. I wanted to give the 2 trolls some hope. I made it seem like they got to me and I was quitting. But no, the angle that y'all see me, where y'all see me on the left side and then you see me on the right side, that's gone forever. We getting rid of that. And we're going to rig the phone up higher so that y'all get a better angle. And hopefully we can put the new mirrors up. And the new mirrors, hopefully they fit. That's going to be the first problem. Are the new mirrors going to fit? That's going to be the first problem we're going to have to deal with. I hope that they fit. And if not, I might have to get the pliers and stretch it out. I'll figure it out. I'll get them up there. We're gonna put the mirrors on, and then we're gonna test them out. Y'all might say, well, why do you care about mirrors? Because most mobility schools, but the new fancy ones, have 1 or 2 on there. But anybody that rode a bike, anybody that drive a car, you want to see what's behind you. And remember, it only goes 4 miles per hour, so somebody can run up behind and hit me in the back of the head. You got cars that's coming. I want to be able to see any cars coming. There's a reason for it. I didn't just get it to get it. That's why, even though I really couldn't afford it, it has value. It could save my life. It'll keep somebody from sneaking up behind me. Remember, I live in the hood. I'm on the edge of the hood, but I still live in the hood. And y'all see all them houses slammed together. All them people in them houses. All you need is the one idiot to say, hey, look at that guy on a scooter. Let's go get him. That's all it takes. So you got to be ready. So it's a safety issue. It ain't just, I just wanted to buy something. I really didn't want to. But like I said, while we waiting on them with the stimulus, this is what I got right now. And so I got to make the best of it. Any little thing I can do to make it safer while we doing the mobilize. It looks like I'm going to have to either try to ride the scooter to the hospital or take the scooter as far as I can go and then call a cab. At least it's going to be on the 4th, the day after. The day after I get, my disability. So I'll have money to take a cab because I'm going to have to take a cab up there. Or I could try. We're gonna leave out early. We're going to give ourselves 2 hours because I believe it's in the afternoon. We're gonna give ourselves 2 hours. And we're going to try to ride out there. Those of y'all that saw the video, the one where we got 2,000 views when I went to the chiropractor, y'all saw me ride back. This is an old video. I was on the first bike. When y'all watched me ride back, y'all thought I was gonna fall. I ain't gonna lie, I thought I was gonna fall. I ain't realized it was that long. But now we gonna be in the scooter going 4 miles per hour. So, on level ground, we was getting like 9 miles per hour on the bike. If I pedal with it, we can get like 12. And going downhill, we went as high as 19 miles per hour, hill assisted. On the scooter don't work that way. It go the same speed whether you're going up. It go a little faster when you go downhill, but not much. Maybe we hit 5 instead of 4 miles per hour going downhill. But it has a built-in braking system and a gear that keeps you at that same. So the scooter is different. That's why I want a faster one. But like I said, what we got is working. So if it ain't broke, why fix it? Jay says it's all good, family. But like I said, I'm not gonna bore y'all with that. But if y'all want to come keep me company tomorrow afternoon, I will be live. And like I say, I'm going to be setting up the 360-degree camera. We're gonna have a new angle. And then we're going to switch. I have the old mount. And I'm going to set the phone up where the camera is now. So I'll be able to see y'all comments better. See, we're going to take the selfie stick. Sit. Let me show us in the camera. We're going to take the selfie stick. And we're going to rig this up behind me. on the seat. And so I'm going to add the attachments, and I'm hoping it go above my head so that the camera, which is right here, when I put the camera on here, and bring in the view, when I put the camera on here, I'm hoping it's above my head so that y'all will get the whole 360 shot. You'll be able to see behind me, side me, front of me, left of me. You'll be able to see everything in full view. Everything will be in full view. So that's my intent. Jay says, I'm calling in about religion. Yeah, the link in the chat. You want me to put it in again? Well, you already got it. If you're going to call in, let me know, and I'm going to start the second part. I'll talk to you. That's what we on. We on StreamYards. All right, while we wait for Jay to call in, let's get to it. We were talking about marriage yesterday on a live stream, and so I thought I would add this. This is St. Paul, and we are at 1 Corinthians 7, and this is the actual scripture. He's talking about marriage, and some of the things he say might surprise you. But I read this when I was 27 years old, and then I came across it again when I was 30. And actually, me and a mentor of mine, we got into an argument. Because he was the age that I am now. And I was younger. And he seemed to be so worried about getting laid, even though he was married. Now, some of the things that he said made sense. Hold on, Liz said what? Wait a minute. You said I gotta let him in. Hold on. Oh, okay, I see him. Hey, what's going on, Jay?
Yeah. You can hear me? I'm coming in good.
Yeah, let me turn the volume down a little bit. Yeah, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, I was back here for a minute, but I see you're getting used to the StreamYards. Is this your first time using StreamYards?
No, I think it's our fourth time. We used it a couple times last month. You get 20 hours for free every month, but it's only 20 hours.
Okay, I ain't trying to use up all your time, but I ain't gonna be long because I know time is valuable. So yeah, I was in the back the backstage. They call it the backstage, so you gotta pay attention to that. So when you're doing your thing on YouTube and you put the link in for StreamYards, somebody's gonna click it, but you gotta check it and make sure that nobody's back there. But somebody's gonna click it, because I've been back here for about 15 minutes. So just to let you know, you wasn't paying attention to it.
That's because I wasn't on screen. I was reading, and I was reading a religious article, and so I had that full screen so I could read it. But when I came back, and I had to just look up, and I saw it said private chat, one message. I said, "What the heck is that?" And so I clicked it, and then I saw you there. And then I answered you.
Yeah, cool. We all learn. We all learn something new every day, man. So it's so in the future, if people call in, you're reading something, you're watching something else, you're doing this, and you basically got to pay attention to everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of, you got somebody that want to call in and chop it up with you. So just keep that in mind, bro. But it's all good, bro. So how you doing this weekend, though, man? Everything good with you, brother?
Yeah, everything good. I'm just waiting on these daggone Republican and Democrats to give us our stimulus money so I can go get me some wheels.
No, I'm more looking for reparations, man. How you feel about reparations, though?
Honestly, I think that we should be giving reparations, but I think that should be we should have to use it, like to open up businesses. I think that people shouldn't just get it and waste it. You know what I mean? Because then you be broke again in a couple years, and then you be crying, "Oh, the man ain't giving me nothing." You know what I mean?
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this then. If the government granted you $500,000 for reparations, what would you do with it? What would you do with your $500,000 that was owed to you? What would you do with it?
First thing I would do with it is try to see what business. The first thing I'm going to move. Number one, wherever I move to, I'm going to see what business could I open up that people would actually come to instead of having, because you're in New Jersey. I don't know how it is in New Jersey, but here in Baltimore, like where I am, it's not many places to go. Now, if I go on the other side of North Avenue, it's a lot of things, but where I'm at, it's like I'm in the middle of nothing. You have to go, it seems like you have to go 2 miles in every direction to get to something. You know what I mean? And that's why.
Yeah. I see you got a lot to think about. You see how quick if we was to get reparations tomorrow, you got a lot to think about. If you get $500,000, you got so much to think about immediately. Because I'm in Jersey. In average houses where I'm at, they average around 250 to 300,000 where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So that's half of my money right there. Because I want to get me a nice house. You know what I'm saying?
It's the same here. If you're getting something nice. But I tell you, a lot of people from DC, a lot of people come down to Baltimore County. They'll come down to the county, not so much the city, but there's places in the city that got real nice houses too. I mean, it's really amazing how you ever heard of like Roland Park? It's amazing how you can go and you can see nice, beautiful houses and beautiful blocks, and then you go to crud. It's amazing how this city's set up. But like I said, I'm on the edge. So like when I start, like when you see me doing a mobile live, I'm actually heading in an area that has a lot of things. Greenmount Avenue, all the stores there. You got the markets. You got John Hopkins College. You heard of the hospital, right? They had their own.
Yeah.
So we got Union Memorial Hospital right there. So when I start heading toward the market, I'm heading into things. But I got to get up 2 mountain inclines to get there, and it kills the battery. So by the time I get up there and I'm ready to do a whole bunch of, sightseeing or whatever, I got to be like, damn, I got to go charge up.
Well, let me just say this. I'll say this because, I'm bringing up 500,000, right? So let's just say that you find a home for 250,000. You still have 250,000 to work on the business and do whatever you want with, because you got to keep in mind that home is paid off. That's your home. You don't got to worry about a mortgage. All you got to do is just pay taxes on the shit. You know what I'm saying? So all you got to do at this point is just focus on your business and do what you want to do. And you in a home, you're comfortable. You don't got to worry about getting kicked out because you own it outright, free and clear. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you got to keep in mind. So, but besides that, man, we gonna move on to like religion, because I know you're a religious brother. And I grew up grew up Christian, man. I'm a Christian brother. I mean, my family is all Christian all day. And that's just that was your topic of discussion for today, right?
Well, we had 2 topics. It came off a live I did this morning. I actually got people that's trolling me, and they keep saying they want me to leave them alone, but they keep making videos and they keep coming in the chat and stuff like that. But
what would they talk? Well, I mean, what was the discussion though, man? Why would people troll you about religion though? What was the problem?
Oh, when I had actually went on somebody else's show, and that person popped up because I had already dealt with one of them, and then that person was in the chat. They came in So I was dealing with those two, and then I had two people in the chat I was dealing with at the same time. And I was running my own live stream and dealing with my chat, and I was handling all of them. You know what I'm saying? They was
Well,
coming
do you?
in. I
I mean, do you mind? I don't. I probably don't know him, but do you mind mentioning? I mean, you don't have to, but it might ring a bell with me. I could probably help you out with them.
Well, like I said, I was in Zone's chat, and
Oh,
I was in Zone's
okay.
chat. I got attacked by Triple Darkness. I just laid him out. I had people in the chat. Tallest Baby was one of them, and that was another. I can't remember who the other troll was. It was somebody that just kept coming, and I was dealing with them. Then RE came in, and I was battling with her, and I'm still running my show. I'm still dealing with the people, two people in the chat, and you still got Triple coming in and out with his little comments. Like I said, you know, it was 4 against 1, but I handled myself pretty well. So,
Okay. But hold on, did you type in this chat room or did you call in?
I was on the stream, y'all, just like you is.
Oh, okay, you call. Okay, no, I gotta check that out. Then I didn't know that because those I don't have no problem with Zone. Zone got his issue with other people, but I don't have no problem with that dude. And I don't even I don't know much about Triple, but I don't know. And RE is she's in her own league and shit, man. So, but you know it's about holding your own over here in the YouTube streets, dog. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. But I gotta if Zone still got it up, I'll watch it later and shit, man. But what was I mean, why were they going at you though? What was going on?
It was something that happened with a member. Let me just say this. When I first started live streaming in 2018. 2018.
Okay, yeah. Yo, refresh my memory. What happened in 2018? My bad. Go ahead.
I first started live streaming. I had two people because I used to come on. After I had left the True Freeman stuff alone, I started doing my own thing, and we would do anything. We would show videos, play music. You know, I was still doing my positive stuff, and like I said, I would stay on all night, and a lot of people would fall asleep. But I had two people that always was here, and they would watch the chat while I did the show. They would moderate. But the main person that was here was RE. Her name was Renee then. I think her name was Renee Owens, but she was calling herself Renee then. And so she was a very important part of the show. But then she got caught doing something she shouldn't have been doing, and so we had to block her. Now, she came back, and somebody had her spot. Naya took a spot, and Naya's here more than anybody else. And then after Naya is Liz. She came in, and I guess she was irritated that somebody was in her spot because she said the dumbest thing. She said something about, how come Naya always here? Y'all must be boyfriend and girlfriend or sleeping together or something. She said something like that. And you know, Naya's married. So she got offended. And so she asked her to apologize for saying it, and she wouldn't do it. And then she started making videos on Naya, and Naya don't be in people's chats like that. So they didn't know what she was talking about. And I kept telling everybody, watch, she gonna come after me. And that's what she did. She started making videos on me. All you gotta do is just type in Brother Derek. Look at all the videos that her and Triple made. But I guess she thought that she was going to run Naya off and then take the spot back. But didn't happen that way. But the good news is she went and started her own channel and actually started getting serious about making the video. I thought she would get busy and leave us alone. And, you know, we had a beef early in the year. But we went 3 months without mentioning each other. But then Triple made a video talking about apparently something happened with a Jokey and Chucky and somebody, and everybody was all over there in that chat. And then when Chucky went off the air, she came on the air, and all the people came over there. And then he made the video saying, "Look at all the people that she got over here. You can't do that." But he can't do it neither. You understand what I'm saying? He can't do it either. I found it funny. Why are you trying to use somebody else to attack me with? I'm not bothering you. Why are you using somebody else? But if you type Brother Derek in the YouTube search, just type in Brother Derek. Watch how many videos that triple was made against me. You wouldn't believe how many of them. I think it's like 9 or 10 of them. It's more than that, to be honest with you. More than that.
Right,
But like
you
I
know,
said,
man, you're giving me a handful. You know, I don't even. I'm trying to follow what you're going because to be honest, I don't really follow a lot of all this shit. I'm aware of Zone. He's in the sports before this whole Corona thing happened. You know, he was in the sports and he does his own thing, man. And I don't have no. Everybody doing their own thing and shit. And just like you started your own channel, you want to do your own thing. Everybody just want to just stay in their lane and just blossom and do their own thing. And then you got the troll that want to just fucking just, you know, excuse me for cursing, bro. I don't know if you know, you don't curse much, but I curse and shit. So excuse me for cursing and shit. But
I heard about that.
yeah, you know, I'm coming with respect, but yeah, everybody, you know, you got your little platform, you trying to do your thing, and then you go over to now. Let me ask you something. You went over to Zone, so this was earlier today. So why did you go over there? What was your purpose? Why did you go over there to get involved?
I was invited over there. I didn't know that I was going over there to get into this. While I was there,
Wait, you say you was invited?
yeah, somebody asked me to come over there.
Oh, okay. Who asked you?
I'm trying to think. I don't know if it was Tony or somebody was like, you need to get with Zone, and you know, you need to get with Seven Deadly. And
oh, so basically, trolls is in there trolling you, and they just instigating some shit. That's what it sounds like to me. I don't know, but
yeah, I'm
I
just
don't
in
know.
there.
I could be wrong.
And he saw me there, and so apparently both of them go there a lot, so they known and everything. And like I said, you know, I just found it weird that
Well, yeah, I watched it. If Zoe got it, I just because I haven't watched him, and you know, he's like I said, man, I'm just trying to just when I got time to see what's going on. But you know, I got respect for because we was talking about religion and shit. Because let's just go into another direction because always wanted to ask you this, and I wanted your opinion about this. What is the difference between being religious and being spiritual? Is there a difference?
well, it depends. What is your intensity? Because a lot of people say, well, I believe that there's a God, and then that's it. Well, so do you worship him? I just know he up there, and I'm just spiritual like that, you know. And then some people will just say, oh, it's all fake. Oh, it's something the white man gave you. Oh, it ain't real. You got people that got different things. But if you're religious and if you're spiritual, it's a difference. But
I feel that these days, yeah, these days I feel that I'm more spiritual than religious.
because if you don't submit to Jesus and God, if you don't let Jesus come into you and activate your spirit, then your spirit is not activated. So technically, you're not spiritual. But if somebody say, well, I'm spiritual, they saying they spiritual in their mind. But if they don't have the Holy Spirit activated, if they not in fellowship with Jesus, you can't get to God. So what spirit are you referring to? The spirit of your selfishness and your desires? Or are you talking about getting the spirit that God breathed into all of us? Have you activated it? Because if the spirit not activated, then you walking around on your own power, on your own sense. So you carry your own morals.
I'll ask you this question: Are you happy in the position that you are in your life right now? Are you happy? Are you satisfied?
I'm not satisfied, but I'm happy. I mean, I wish I had more things, but you know, you have to realize that technically I've died 5 times. How can I not be grateful that I'm still here?
You died 5. Explain that. Now, see, now we going somewhere. Now, explain that to me. You said you died 5 times. Now, help me out with that. How did you die 5 times?
If I get too excited, my heart will stop, and I will die. That's why they won't let me work. If I get
so you have a medical condition. You got a medical condition.
Yes. I got double heart failure. I got 2 stents in my heart. I got a pacemaker. I got high blood pressure, and I got type 2 diabetes.
Okay, so you on disability then? You on disability?
Yes. Luckily, I worked and I paid a lot of taxes, so it wasn't hard for me to get on there because I paid so much into the system.
Okay, so as far as you getting up every morning and going to bed every night, so you pray to a higher being from your perspective, as far as how you see your life is going, because I can't put myself in your shoes, but I think that it much respect to you. My prayers go out to you because you're a good dude and shit, man. So I want to make sure that you're okay. And if there's anything that I could do in the future, man, I would love to help out if it comes down to that, man. But
I work a dangerous job. I work security, and I worked a dangerous job. But one of the owners, the one that I had to deal with, he was religious. He played gospel music all day to try to keep the customers from chipping out, and me and him got along because we actually, had a lot of the same beliefs. And like I said, he was the age that I am now. I was in my 30s, he was 50. And so I really learned a lot because the young drug dealer boys would be like, "Here come your daddy." That's how they say it. But they wouldn't say it smartly because they know I get out there and fight with them. That was the difference. Yeah, I get out there and fight with them. I had many a fight. I had to earn my respect. But a lot of them didn't have no father, didn't have no religion, and I would try to mentor to them. I would try to get them, the community college is right there, and I should be going with you. But you 18 years old and you out here drug dealing. Where do you see yourself in 20 years? Where do you see yourself? And I would ask them, some of them had kids already. How are you going to put your kids through college if you don't go? And I would try to talk to them, and a lot of them didn't want to hear, but some of them would. But I got some of them to actually go enroll. And a couple of years later, they were coming there all smiling and have a little job, and I would feel proud because, I had influence where people would say that these kids ain't no good. But the fact is, they don't have nobody to mentor them. So you said, what would I do with the money? I would open up some recreation centers. So these kids, when they get out of school, they got someplace to go. And I would try to get adults that ain't doing anything to come mentor these kids and spend time with them and show them it's a different way. I would also try to start a business and try to get other people to go in with me. Then
man, can you imagine if the people that are billionaires all around us had that mentality that you have, that got the money right now, that could actually do that right now, bro?
This would be the greatest country in the world.
Yes, exactly. Yep. Can you imagine? You see where your mindset is at, man? And I agree with you, bro. But hey, man, greed. There's a lot of greedy people in this world, bro.
I don't have the money to do anything. I got so many things I can do. I ain't got the doske. Now, if I was to find one of them and could get them to fund some things, oh man, the things we could do.
Yeah, exactly.
But I can tell you right
Yeah.
now, we could pick one area and say, what is it that the people in this area need the most? And we would actually start a business with that. Then we would try to get other people who always thought about doing something, but you know, never had the gumption or never had the direction. Get them to start making things for the first business. We'll be their first customer.
Now now back to my original question. Now, would you pray on that, or would your spirit would you be guided spiritually? Would you pray for, or do you pray for that every day, or it just your spirit is going to guide you in that direction? You know, is there a difference? You see you see the question that I'm asking?
I feel that if I was meant to be the front man, it will be given. But the problem is that God got to be careful. You can't give one person everything. Because think about it. Suppose you had the things that I talk about. Suppose you had that, right? And suppose you had the money to do it. Then why wouldn't you do it and make yourself rich and be like the big wigs we were talking about before? You'd be like, yeah, I got all this money put on y'all. I'm going up there to Beverly Hills, y'all. And I'm gonna go ahead and build all these great things, and I ain't gonna bring nobody in. Get your own, you know. You can't get everybody. You can't have it all. You gotta have different people, so different people are involved, and you gotta have some people to actually constrain other people, because some people will say, "Look, we got $500,000. I'm going on a cruise, then I'm going to the Bahamas. I'm going to Hawaii. I'm going to Jamaica. I'm gonna get me all the best clothes. I'm gonna get me a big fat Dookie chain. I'm gonna get me a fancy car. I want a Lamborghini or something. And I want to put some $5,000 rims on it, and I want to put in a $2,000 sound system when I come down the road.
And then the question would be, well, are you happy at the end of the day? That would be the ultimate question. Are they still happy at the end of the day? You know what I'm saying?
Here's why I believe rich people commit suicide and why they get in trouble. After they get everything, what else is there to do?
Hey, they bored. They're bored.
After you done everything, like suppose you like to smoke weed. Suppose you found the stash. You found the stash, and that stash had like 700 pounds of weed. And let's say you smoke a blunt a day. Now you got this, you smoke 6 blunts a day. After a while, it's not going to do anything for you. You're going to build a tolerance to it. Then you're going to be doing 14 blunts a day. Then you're going to be doing 20
or some stronger drugs. Or wind up doing something stronger, some stronger drugs. Or something.
And then you're going to wind up doing something else. And that's pretty much, they say that marijuana is the gateway drug for a lot of people because you start getting bored at a high. Same thing with alcohol. There are some people that can come home from work and, you know, get that little flask, had a little flask, and they pour that little bit into that little glass and they guzzle it down and then go about their business. Some people got to have a big glass and they'll sit there and drink it, right? And then some people drink the whole bottle. They don't even bother to put it in there. Just go ahead and start drinking. Drink that Smirnoff straight. People have different tolerance levels. I've known people that were crack addicts, but they only smoked on the weekend. But Monday through Friday, they went to work. They handled their business. But on the weekend,
they called them functional drug addicts.
Yeah, a functional addict, correct. And those the ones that they are hardest to deal with because they don't see nothing wrong. I'm still handling my business. How dare you say something to me? My kids still eat. Just Friday and Saturday, I got to go get high. But I'm all right the rest of the week. And some people can do that. My stepfather was a functional alcoholic. He worked 6 days a week. But on his lunch break, he went and got something to drink. Always carried mouthwash with him. And then when he came home, he always came home with a 24 case.
Did that affect you to this day with your stepfather being like that back then? Did that still affect you like mentally?
I mean, he was a cool dude. He was abusive sometimes, but he was a cool dude. You know, and like I said, you know, growing up with a man in the house, you know, it gave us an advantage over most of the other kids we went to school with, because they would be surprised that you actually had a man that lived in the house. You know, and so it was good and bad. I mean, it was a lot more good because we did things. You know, we had a father to go play baseball with, and he would take us places. You know, he had family in New York. We would go up to New York and visit his family. You know, it was good things. You know, we were never rich. We weren't even comfortable. We were okay. It wasn't until he found that one job at the department store downtown that he worked security for. That was when he was his most stablest. And like I said, he got liver cancer. And guess what? He found religion. And he actually started going to church Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. Soon as he got the okay that he beat it, he went right back to drinking and ain't been to church since.
Oh, damn, are you serious? Are you serious?
He got a stroke and then he died.
Oh wow. How old was he when he passed away?
I believe he was in his I'm trying to calculate because he died about 7 years ago. I estimated he was in maybe around 50, 51, 52.
50. Wow, 50. Hold on, he passed from. So hold on, that's pretty young, bro. That's young.
They ain't pretty young. I told you he brought home a 24 pack every night. And
51 years old, bro, is pretty young, dog. That's young.
My half brother would spend most of the night taking him up a beer. He'd be like, hey, and he know when he say, hey, go get him a beer. Then, like, he'd get home at like 6 o'clock, right? He would leave at 6, he would leave at 5 and come back at 6. Then he would get up around 11 o'clock, and we all had to go upstairs. He would come downstairs. He had his old music on, you know, that old 60s and 70s music. He had the music on, and he would actually clean the kitchen and would clean downstairs, and you could just hear, shh, just hear, shh. And when he get up in the morning, he go downstairs, you hear, shh. You know, that sound of somebody opening the beer can, it give me the willies to this day. That's why I don't drink. It give me the willies to this day.
Yeah, that is a functional alcoholic right there, though.
That is almost like, you know, when you bring in somebody's house and they got a shotgun and they go cha-ching, you go, oh snap. That's when you're like, oh, he up. If you sit there sleep, you hear him come up the steps, like he's up, getting ready for work. He go in the bathroom, the shave, you know,
Damn.
he get the shower. Get out the shower, and then you hit the can, hit the trash can. I'm telling you, every time somebody opened up a can of soda, you know, I jump.
Hey, well, you know what? It looked like you. Hey, listen, you seem to be doing good for yourself. You know, I know that you could be in the better circumstances, but you know you got your health is a concern and everything. But you seem to be happy, man, and God bless you, brother. You good? You all right, brother, man?
Because I shouldn't be. I'm glad to be alive, and it's nothing worse. I never forget the day when I actually had died on a Wednesday, and I woke up. And I didn't know where I was. And then my lady friend kept saying, you need to go to the hospital. You know, black men don't go to the hospital unless we got to go. So the next day, I had this buzzing in my temple, and I was literally running around the job. And my lady friend kept saying, do you have diabetes? And I said, no. And she said, well, it sounded like you're sugar low. And she said to go get a candy bar and drink a soda, a ginger ale. I ate that. Next thing I knew, I was waking up with somebody's arms. And I got up and I kept right on working. And then it happened again. And this time, I was in an enemy of mine. That person could have killed me. But I was so nice. Even though I beat him up, I was so nice that they didn't. So I got up and I still continued to ship. And when I got off, I went and picked up my lady friend, and then we went to the hospital. And when I got in the hospital, after they ran them tests, they rushed me upstairs, and the doctor was scared to touch me, and the nurses were scared to touch me. They was afraid I was going down. Do you know what that does to you? You know, and it's almost like if you ignorant of AIDS and you find out you got an AIDS patient and you just all scared to touch. You know what I'm talking about? When it first came out, and now you gotta have contact with the blood and all that. But back then you didn't know. That's what it was like. Or if somebody got the CV, and this is back in March, and you're afraid to touch them. They act like they was afraid to touch me, like I would drop dead on them. They get a lawsuit. That was the worst.
Well, you know what? Hey, and you're still on this side of the earth, man. And now, as far as your health now, are you eating the shit that you need to be eating now? I mean, how is your health now? What are you doing? Are you taking the certain? Are you sticking to your diet, basically? Are you sticking to your diet?
Most of the time, but I treat myself. I ain't gonna lie.
You be eating pig feet and all that shit, or what?
No, I'm just saying. Actually, I went through a phase where, if you look, you'll see me eating pudding. I ain't supposed to have no pudding, but I stopped it. It was just, I saw it, and like for like a month, I would get pudding. I'd be doing the show. It was something that, sometimes we be doing 10, 11-hour shows, and you want something to nibble on. Because when I get done with the show, when I get done with the show, you understand what I'm saying? I actually get myself. I go in there and cook. When we get done with the show, I shouldn't be eating that late. But today, I'm ready because I haven't been asleep. I've been up since midnight yesterday. But I ate half of it, but I'm gonna add some more cheese to this and some more sauce. But
what is that?
It's ground beef. It's ground beef, and it's ravioli, O's, and meatballs. I'm gonna put a whole layer of cheese on top of it, and then I'm gonna put some sugarless tomato sauce on there, stir it up real good, and nuke it. Man, I'm gonna tear that up.
You're cheating, and this is your form of cheating. Your diet. You're cheating your diet right there. You're not supposed to be eating that though.
Well, technically, the ravioli part, because it come out of can, and canned goods have stuff in it to make them last forever, and it lasts in your body forever. So technically, I'm not supposed to have that. But you see how little whatchacoms are. I should be able to wash that down with some water. But everything else is not bad. Yesterday I had salad. I actually had salad, and I went and bought some salad, and it was just salad, just lettuce, and the carrots, but it also had egg, and it had little bacon bits. You know what I'm saying? And it had egg, bacon bits, and it had cheese. Man,
You know what's to your what's to your advantage because you got a bike, yo, get up and just work up a sweat, yo, get on that bike, man, and just ride that shit for like 4 or 5 miles, bro, every day. Yo, get in shape, yo. I'm telling you, that would definitely be play a big part of you just staying healthy, man. Just get on your bike and just work up a sweat. Just ride anywhere, bro. Ride across the city or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And put it on GoPro. You got a GoPro, right? Put that shit on GoPro and just do your thing, bro. You know what I'm saying?
well, that's what I be
I don't know.
doing.
Have you been doing that?
We've been doing mobile lives. I actually got a flat tire on the bike, and I don't know if the rim is damaged. Like I said, waiting on the daggone stimulus. Like I said, I don't want to spend, you know, $8 on the cab, up to the bike shop, and then spend $8 back, and then spend, $40, and then they say, oh, the rim is damaged. Then I would have to call the company, because the motor, that's where the motor is for the bike. And so then I would have to call the company, and I would have to actually order a whole wheel, and I already know that's gonna be like $400. It's almost more than what I paid for the daggone bike. And so that's why I've been hesitant, because I'll wait. I was trying to wait for the stimulus, because I'm gonna get an extended battery for the scooter, and I'm gonna get I keep saying I'm gonna buy a new scooter, but I don't think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna keep doing it.
You're disabled, so you get a disability check every month, right?
Yeah, but I mean, after I pay rent, there ain't much left. I can tell you right now, it's only the 15th. I think I got like $7 to my name.
Look like you're gonna have to get your ass out and start jogging and start running. Then I guess that's your only other option, then, right?
Yeah, well, like I said, I live on a steep incline. All I gotta do is just walk up and down it.
That's a start. That's good. That's actually good, bro. That's good. That's a good start.
That's what I'm gonna start doing. Like I said, I've been staying in the house a lot because we actually got a break. We were only in the 70s today. We've been in the 90s for like the past 2 weeks, and some of them days the humidity was up to 92%. Man.
Yeah. I know it's the humidity. Yeah, I could imagine the humidity down there where you at. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you got respiratory problems, that kill you because you really can't inhale. And like I said, because of my bumbling landlord, I wound up with 2 air conditioners. And let me tell you, I had both of them boys cranking. And like that day, it was they said it was 99. It was gonna feel 103, and then it actually came down to like 89. And I said, okay, let me go ahead and turn one of these off. And then the humidity shot up to 93. I said, oh Lord, I couldn't figure out why I can't breathe. And then I turned the other air conditioner on, and then it was better. So because it made the air cold, so I could actually draw more oxygen out of it. Whether as it was hot and humid, and it was actually
all right, brother. Yeah, I was calling in, and I see you got your StreamYards. Like I said, I'm not trying to use up all your minutes and hours on your StreamYards in case somebody else want to call in on your shit. So I'm gonna cut it short, man. But I call it. Hey, by the way, dog, you see my avatar. By the way, that's Crispy right there. That's my avatar.
I was wondering who that. I thought that was him. I wasn't sure. Man, he looked bad in that picture.
That was you knocking him the fuck out right there. That was you. That's you that beat him up right there. So it's a shout out to you, brother.
All right, I appreciate that, Jay.
Yeah, man. That's Crispy getting his head knocked the fuck out right there, dog. But much respect to you, brother. But I'm gonna let you go and shit, man. Do your thing, man. And stay whatever religion, what you believe in, man. Just stick to your guns, bro, and always stay true to who you are, man. All right. Much respect to you, brother.
All right, Jay. I appreciate it, buddy. You have a good night.
All right. I'll talk to you soon, brother. All right. Peace.
Peace. Much love. All righty, y'all. Let's get to the second part of our sermon. Y'all done cheated because y'all can see it and I can't. Y'all can see it and I can't. Let me see if I can blow it up some more. I don't know if I can go any higher. Let me see. Will it go higher? Ain't it? All right. Can y'all see it now? You know, I could have blown it up sooner. Hey, what happened? They're on phone froze. No, we here. Amen. Now it said be right back. Liz said, thank you, Liz. Device switch. All right, y'all. So let's get to it. 1 Corinthians 7. This is St. Paul, the apostle St. Paul, talking about marriage. Now for the matters you wrote about, and this is from the Bible, directly from the Bible. Now for the matters you wrote about, it is good for a man not to marry. But since there is so much immorality, each man should have his own wife, and each woman her own husband. The husband should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband. The wife's body does not belong to her alone. So when you women say that you are pregnant and it's your body, let's read. The wife's body does not belong to her alone, but also to her husband. The wife's body does not belong to her alone, but also to her husband. So the next time you hear a woman say, it's my body, you can't tell me what to do, tell her to read that scripture. Read it to her. The wife's body does not belong to her alone, but also to her husband. In the same way, the husband's body does not belong to him alone, but also to his wife. When you get married, you become one. One. When a man enters you, you become one. There shall only be one man to enter you. If more than one man enter you in your lifetime, how are you one? You 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Do y'all understand it? Do not deprive each other except by mutual consent and for a time, so that you may devote yourselves to prayer. Then come together again, so Satan will not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. So to all you women who you ain't gonna have sex with the man till he do what you want to do, you're going against. You're sinning. You're going against what you're expected to do. I say this as a concession, not as a command. I wish that all men were as I am, but each man has his own gift from God. One has this gift, another has that. I was explaining that earlier when I said I got great ideas, but I need somebody that can get the people to execute them. Each man has his own gift from God. One has this gift, another has that. Now to the unmarried and the widows, I say, it is good for them to stay unmarried as I am. But if they cannot control themselves, they should marry, for it is better to marry than to burn with passion. Well, St. Paul, you need to learn something about metformin. Metformin take it all out you. That 1,000 milligram dosage was taking it all. Now they got me on 2,000 milligrams. They ain't doubled it on me. And took all the desire out of me. I ain't sweating nothing. Seriously. I don't even be thinking about it. I never forget when we was in doctor's office. We was out Wilkins Avenue. I had wheels then. And we drive out there, right over the county line. It ain't nothing but 3 blocks into the county. It's 2 or 3 blocks in the county, passing the county line. I'm in there with some well-to-do people, but they don't know that. All they know is I'm coming in. But my lady friend at the time, she asked the doctor, "Is there anything equivalent to this metformin you gave him?" It took him from being a stallion. He ain't gone from the lion to the lamb, she said. The doctor looked embarrassed, and she said, "No, he has to take that." She said, "You sure you can't give him something else? Because it just killed our life." She said, "Well, it can kill your love life, or you can watch him die, or you can watch him lose his eyesight, or you can watch him become a paraplegic. You want to push him around in a wheelchair." And she said, "Oh, okay, I'm going to shut up." And later on that day, she said, "When I want some, you're not going to take that medicine that day." And so, twice a week, I would have to not take the medicine. Then I would go to the doctor, and she would say, "Your levels ain't right." "I don't know. I'm taking it. I'm sitting here lying. I hate to lie." I'm like, "Well, I'm doing what you said." Except for them 2 days. But that was something I had to deal with. I had to keep her happy. But I was only taking 500 milligrams then. Then I got put to 1,000. Now they doubled it. Now it's 2,000. Shoot. So you can make fun of me all you want. But I'd rather have my eyesight in my legs and be alive than worrying about bouncing on some woman like a trampoline that I don't care about. Being honest, you make fun of me all you want. Make all the videos you want. But if you tell me that I should be a paraplegic and not have no legs because you want me to go bounce on somebody, I'm going to tell you, kiss my butt. And you can't answer that. And if you do, you a simpleton. I done a lot of playing around when I was young. When I was away from the church, trust me, I did a lot of dirt. I'm all right. You don't see me sitting here suffering. But if they cannot control themselves, they should marry. For it is better to marry than to burn with passion. To the married, I give this command, not I, but the Lord. A wife must not separate from her husband. But if she does, she must remain unmarried or else be reconciled to her husband. So if a woman leaves, she can't go be with no other man. She's going to have to be unmarried and celibate or come back to her husband. And a husband must not divorce his wife. To the rest, I say this, I'm not the Lord. If any brother has a wife who is not a believer and she is willing to live with him, he must not divorce her. So if you find Jesus and your mate don't, that's not an excuse to divorce him. And if a woman has a husband who is not a believer and he is willing to live with her, she must not divorce him. For the unbelieving husband has been sanctified through his wife, and the unbelieving wife has been sanctified through her believing husband. Otherwise, your children will be unclean, but as it is, they are holy. This part didn't stick with me. But if it had of, I probably would be married. My belief covers her and the children. Or if she believes and I don't. That part didn't stick out to me until I got older. I just read right over that. If I'd have known that even if I marry a woman who doesn't believe in Jesus or God, that my belief would cover her and the children. Now, they say if the unbeliever leaves, let them do so. A believing man or woman is not bound in such circumstances. God has called us to live in peace. How do you know, wife, whether you will save your husband? Or how do you know, husband, whether you will save your wife? That part stuck with me. Nevertheless, each one should retain the place in life that the Lord assigned to him and to which God called him. This is the rule I lay down in all the churches. Was a man already circumcised when he was called? He should not become uncircumcised. Was a man uncircumcised when he was called? He shall not be circumcised. Circumcision is nothing, and uncircumcision is nothing. Keeping God's commands is what counts. Each one should remain in the situation which he was in when God called him. Were you a slave when you were called? Don't let it trouble you. Although if you can gain your freedom, do so. For he who was a slave when he was called by the Lord is the Lord's freedman. Similarly, he who was a free man when he was called is Christ's slave. You were bought at a price. Do not become slaves of men. Brothers, each man as responsible to God should remain in the situation God called him into. You were bought at a price. Yes, you were. Jesus Christ paid the ultimate. He allowed the Jewish and the Romans to kill him. He didn't have to get on that cross. He allowed it to happen. He sacrificed himself to absorb all our sins so that we can cheat death. Because sin leads to death. Sin leads to a separation from God. And Jesus, no matter what you're doing right now, if you drop everything and take him into your heart and you believe, his blood washes away every bad thing you've done and makes you presentable to God. And when it's time for the rapture, they're going to call you up. When it's time for the rapture, they're going to call you up. The rapture is the believers that's still alive. They're going to call you up. The ones that died already, they're already in paradise. But the rapture is when Jesus comes back. He's going to call you up. And all these things you hear about, the seven bowls and the battle with the devil and the dragon and the Antichrist, you're going to be in paradise. You ain't going to deal with none of that. If you believe. Brothers, each man as responsible to God should remain in a situation God called them to. See, a lot of people hear the good news, and the first thing they want to do is go out there into the world, and they want to try to change themselves. That's not how you do it. You got to give yourself over to Jesus. He's going to do the work inside you. You got to let him. Never heard that phrase, let go and let God? You got to let go of everything you know and pretend you don't know nothing, like a newborn baby. You let Jesus come into your heart, and he'll direct you where you should go, what you should be doing. Don't take it upon yourself. Well, I found Jesus, and now I'm going to go out and teach everybody about Jesus. That might not be what you were meant to do. You didn't wait and see what Jesus wanted you to do. I told you the Spirit told me to come here. I didn't come on my own. I would have never thought of being a content creator on YouTube. Everybody I know laughed in my face. There are people, I don't know if y'all pay attention when we're going to mobilize. When I tell them I'm a YouTuber, they had the dumbest look on their face, like, really? Who the heck gonna watch him? Really? Then when I tell them, look at the camera. And I remember one day we was in the market, and it was two young ladies. And they were like, who he talking to? Oh, he doing that live streaming thing. He probably talking to himself. And one of them came over there, and they said, no, he got 11 people watching him. I got to say, that felt good. And to 11 people that was there, I thank you. You shut them women right up. They didn't think one person would watch me. And there was 11 of y'all in the chat. God is good. It shut them right up. Now about virgins, I have no command from the Lord, but I give a judgment as by one who by the Lord's mercy is trustworthy. Because of the present crisis, I think that it's good for you to remain as you are. Are you married? Do not seek a divorce. Are you unmarried? Do not look for a wife. Are you married? Do not seek a divorce. Are you unmarried? Do not look for a wife. But if you do marry, you have not sinned. And if a virgin marries, she has not sinned. But those who marry will face many troubles in this life. And I want to spare you this. Why does he keep saying, if a virgin? Why does Paul keep saying, if a virgin marries? Because the first man you lay with, that's your husband. That's your husband. That's the man you're supposed to be with the rest of your life. That's your husband. But if you do marry, you have not sinned. And if a virgin marries, she has not sinned. But those who marry will face many troubles in this life. And I want to spare you this. What I mean, brothers, is that time is short. From now on, those who have wives should live if they had none. Those who mourn as if they did not. Those who are happy as if they were not. Those who buy something as if it were not theirs to keep. Those who use the things of this world as if not engrossed in them. For this world in its present form is passing away. I would like you to be free from concern. An unmarried man is concerned about the Lord's affair. How can he please the Lord? But a married man is concerned about the affairs of this world. How can he please his wife? And his interests are divided. An unmarried woman or virgin is concerned about the Lord's affairs. The Lord's affairs. Her aim is to be devoted to the Lord, both in body and spirit. But a married woman is concerned about the affairs of this world. how she can please her husband. I'm saying this for your own good, not to restrict you, but that you may live in the right way in undivided devotion to the Lord. If anyone thinks he is acting improperly toward the virgin he is engaged to, and if she is getting along in years, and he feels he ought to marry, he should do as he wants. He is not sinning. They should get married. But the man who has settled the matter in his own mind, who is under no compulsion, but has control over his own will, and who has made up his mind not to marry the virgin, this man also does the right thing. So then, he who marries the virgin does right, but he who does not marry her does even better. A woman is bound to her husband as long as he lives, but if her husband dies, she is free to marry anyone she wishes, but he must belong to the Lord. In my judgment, she is happier if she stays as she is, and I think that I too have the Spirit of God. Now, Troll was trying to make fun of me for not being married. But the fact of the matter is, and let's be honest, where am I going to find a 50-year-old virgin in Baltimore City? Where am I going to find a 48-year-old virgin? Where am I going to find a 45-year-old virgin? Where am I going to find a 30-year-old virgin? Where am I going to find a 28-year-old virgin? I'm 50. I can't keep going low. How much lower do I have to go? We got 11, 12, and 13-year-olds that got babies. Where am I going to find a virgin to marry? Anybody got any ideas? Let me know. Where am I going to find? She got to at least be 35. Anybody know a 35-year-old virgin? I say 35 because she can still bear a child. Anybody know where I can find a 35-year-old virgin in Baltimore City? Please let me know. Seriously. If not, shut up. Where am I going to find a 35? Do I have to go get a get one of the Catholic ladies? You know the nuns? Do I have to go get a nun? Seriously, where am I going to find a 50-year-old virgin at? Where am I going to find a 35-year-old virgin at? A 40-year-old virgin? These women nowadays are having sex in their preteens. If you want to be really right with God, the woman must be a virgin. If she's been with other men, she belongs to that first man until he dies. So even if you marry somebody, if that woman is tied, the man don't matter, but the woman does. If the woman is tied to other men, that's not your wife. That's why it's hard for some women to get married. He says, in my judgment, she is happy if she stays as she is, as a virgin, and I think I too have the Spirit of God. He says, or is it good for a man not to have sexual relations with a woman? If anyone thinks he's not treating his daughter properly, and if she's getting along in years, and he feels she ought to marry, he should do as he wants. He is not sinning. He should let her get married. But the man who has settled the matter in his own mind, who is under no compulsion, but has control over his own will, and who has made up his mind to keep the virgin unmarried, this man also does the right thing. So then he who gives his virgin in marriage does right, but he who does not give her in marriage does even better. That is St. Paul. I told you some of what he said might surprise you. I don't like Bible Gateway. Nobody else got it. Let's try Bible.com. Let's try Bible.com. All right. All right. He on something different. Okay. Let's come back. Hey, how you doing, Nick Club? So, St. Paul says, if you can resist the urges not to go out there and fornicate, it's better for you not to be married. Because you can keep your mind on Jesus and God and what they want you to do. But if you can't control yourself, you just got the trampoline bounce on somebody, then you should get married. But you can't cheat on your wife. You can't withhold sex from her when she want it. She can't withhold sex from you when you want it. If you're not doing that, you sinning. You're not doing what God wants you to do. Now, he says it's better if you don't marry. You can spend your time focusing on God and getting to paradise. But if you thirsty, you hot in the pants, you just can't control yourself, get married. But you got to balance. You still got to put God first and put your mate second. You still got to put God first, then your mate, then your children. You still got to put God first, then your mate, then your children, then your parents. You still got to put God first and continue on. Aunts, uncles in order, your boss. Keep all that in order. But Jesus and God first. Second is your mate. Back then, a man could have as many women as he could afford. Those women are his wives. But a woman can only have one husband. A woman can only have one husband. Only one. And if she lays with him, whether you do the marriage ceremony or not, if you lay down with a man, you got to stay with that man until he dies. If you don't, you are sinning. If you go with somebody else, you are sinning. If you have 9 boyfriends and then the 10th one marry you, that first boyfriend is your husband. Do you ladies understand that? What's going on, the driver? Whoever the first man you slept with, go find him. That's your husband. Go find him and do what you got to do to get him to marry you. To the men, every woman that you slept with, go gather them up and get a big house. They're your wives. You got to take care of them. You don't take care of them, you're going to be judged for it. It might keep you from getting out of heaven. Has anybody ever told you that? Nope, but it ain't. But I just showed you. I just showed you. Now a lot of y'all are gonna feel different. Are gonna feel in your feelings about what I just said. Baby, go sit down, man. Go sit down. Y'all gonna feel different about what I just said. Because a lot of y'all are married by man to a person that God say don't belong to you. Woo! Bet nobody never told you that. A lot of y'all are legally married to people who you don't belong to. Whoever the first person you had sex with. First time I had sex was 8 years old. The girl name was Lisa. You know who's 8 years old? That's my wife. I wonder who she married to now. Whoever, black woman probably ain't married at all. Yes, sex makes the marriage. I told y'all several times, there was a ceremony, whether it was the family, whether the whole village came. They ate, drank, party. At some point, the couple went and had sex. Wherever they had sex on, after they got done, they would come out. The parents of the bride will go in there. Whatever they laid on, they would pick it up and they would bring it outside and show it to everybody. If there wasn't no blood on it, that woman got stoned to death. If she was lucky, she got banished. And that's where your prostitutes came from. Because to have sex out of a marriage meant death to women. If you could get a woman to have sex with you, you got a drunk, and she was a virgin, that's your wife. You got to marry her. You got to have a ceremony. Let everybody know that's your wife. And you got to take care of her till she die. Normally, the man die first. So if you die at 70, and she can find somebody to marry her, she can go get married again. But you have to die before she's free. A lot of y'all with people that's not yours. Let them marinate. If you're a woman, the first man you let inside you, that's your husband. Because that was the marriage ceremony. It wasn't with the ring and the white dress and the bridesmaids. God made Adam and Eve. They really wasn't even thinking about sex until after they ate the apple. And back then, when you had sex, 99.9% chance of the woman getting pregnant. 99.9% chance. You heard, and he lay with her, and she bore Seth, and he lay with her. And they were born and he lived with. That's where they come from. I don't even believe they had sex like that because the babies kept coming. They ain't like they is now. There wasn't no media. Get the sex. Get the sex. The uncles wasn't telling the young boys, hey, you got one of them little fillies yet? Hey, you got your wanker wet yet? They didn't do that back then. Because as much as a young man might have wanted to have sex with a woman, he knew if he did, that she would get stoned to death. What happened to them values? But you wonder why the Arabs don't like us. You wonder why they want to kill us. They're afraid that their daughters are going to be like the daughters of the United States. When I say that, y'all get mad. It's the truth. It's the truth. Keep telling you over and over again, it's true. To those women who say it's my body, if I want to have sex at 12, I can do it. I just read to you that you ain't supposed to do it. I just read it to you. Now, you don't have to. Wait a minute. The driver put a link in, but how do I capture the link? Let me see. No, you can only block or put somebody in timeout. Oh, crap, the driver. Does anybody know how to grab the link? Wait a minute. Is it showing up on the phone? Hold on. Yes, it is. Hold on. Let me show up on the phone. Let me go there on the phone and share, Hangout. Let's send it to Liz and Naya. Oh, I don't even see both of y'all on here. There it is. Naya, Liz, and send. All right. All right. Wait a minute. Get this out of here. Right, go back to my show. Yeah, I saw 740 something likes. I knew that wasn't mine. I knew that wasn't mine. All right, now we gotta go grab it. Where's Naya and Liz at? There they go. It's right there, number one. All right, copy the link. Hey, my contact tried to slip out. All right, let's go back and let's paste it. Paste and go. All right, y'all, let's go.
Is marriage defined by the state or by God? Well, let me tell you. Marriage today looks a lot different than marriage in biblical times. Isaac and Rebekah, for example, simply entered into a tent and then they were married with no certificate or paperwork. So how should Christians define?
Wait a minute. Didn't I just say that? Hold it. I've been telling y'all that for years. Y'all get to hear somebody else say it. Let's wind it back.
Rebekah, for example, simply entered into a tent.
They did what?
Marriage today looks a lot different than marriage in biblical times. Isaac and Rebekah, for example, simply entered into a tent and then they were married with no certificate or paperwork. So how should Christians define marriage today? Well, Christians should define marriage the same way it's been defined by the Bible for thousands of years. It's when a man leaves his father and his mother and becomes joined to his wife, and the two become one flesh. Marriage, then, is the covenant relationship between a man and a woman before God. And Jesus, in fact, also fully endorses this definition. In Matthew 19, he quotes the Genesis account of marriage, because he believes it's still valid. And then he adds his own commentary by saying, "What therefore God has joined together, let no one separate." In other words, Jesus believes marriage is a God-ordained institution. And so when Isaac and Rebekah got married, they made a commitment to each other that's recorded in Genesis 24. And when the Bible says Isaac brought Rebekah into the tent, well, this is just a reference to them consummating their marriage. Now, it's true, there is no mention of a certificate or paperwork. They never even went to a courthouse. Why? Well, because marriage is an institution of God, not the invention of the state. And that's why no legal documents are needed. In fact, when I got married, to the most glorious woman, by the way, we exchanged our vows in front of our pastor and before our friends and family. Most importantly, we made our commitment to each other before God. Now, sometime later that day, my wife and I filled out the necessary paperwork to register our marriage with the state, but that subsequent certificate we got from the government did not make us any more married than when we exchanged our vows before God. Our marriage began at the church, not later when the courthouse stamped our certificate. Marriage, as you can see, is a pre-political institution. It existed long before the state existed. And all that recent governments have done is created legal protections and privileges that provide the married couple with some benefits. Now, but the state, though, did not create marriages, and that, by the way, is why the state should not redefine marriage. Marriage is a God-ordained institution, not a government-ordained institution. At Stand to Reason, we help Christians to think clearly so they can share their world.
Thank you, the driver.
If you want to see more...
Thank you for that, the driver. Thank you for that, sir. Thank you. So, that just backed up what I said. That backs up what I said. You are married. A woman is married to the first person they had sex with. So those of you men, all the ladies you had sex with, you got to go find them and you got to go take care of them. Those are your wives. You got other men laying up with your wives. To you women, if you ain't with the man you had sex with the first time, because that's the marriage. You were 17 years old in the back seat of the drive-through theater. If you was on lookout point, make out point, whatever, you gave it up, that's your husband. That jock you was dating, that's probably a janitor right now, because he didn't get the football scholarship, that's your husband. That's your husband. Anybody have any comments on what we just talked about? Anybody want to call in and talk about it? While we on the Hangouts? Naya said, be right back. So, the reason we brought this up, you heard the woman say that all her children was grown except for the 15-year-old. So if her children are grown and she's been living with a man for 14 years, that's not her husband. Her husband is the first man she laid down with. So when I tell her she can't get married, she can't. But she can get married and get the benefits, you know, if the husband dies and stuff like that. But she's not with her husband. Because if she got children older than her relationship she got now, that man ain't her husband. Do y'all understand? Why people come and they say things and they think they sound intelligent, and we just shoot it down. But thank you, the driver. That really shot her down. We ain't got to worry about her making a video about that. She had to be crazy. All right. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second here. I'll start anyway. I don't care.
The post office with millions of ballots from certain states. And if you look at what happened in New York and Virginia and various other places, it's a catastrophe. They're losing 20% of the votes. Nobody knows what's happened. So we're going to see what happens. But I do say this: universal mail-in voting is going to be catastrophic. It's going to make our country a laughingstock all over the world. You can't send out millions of ballots. And look at all of the tests. Look, you've seen them. And there are many, far more. Just look at New York. Look at New Jersey. Look at the catastrophe in New Jersey. And New Jersey had more than just Patterson. Look at what's going on in Virginia. Look at what's happening with this mail-in voting. It's a disgrace. Absentee is good. Mail-in, universal is very, very bad. There's no way they're going to get it accurately. They're off by 20 and 30%. And this is beyond post office. Now, with that being said, they want money for the universal mail-in ballots. And they're not getting it. You know why? Because of them. We want money to go to people. They want money in order to bail out states that have done very poorly. The states that have done poorly, you know them as well as I do. These are run by Democrats, usually radical left Democrats. You take a look at what's happening in Portland. And we'll go into Portland. We have to be asked. We'll go into Portland, straighten it out in 1 hour, like happened in Minneapolis. We'll go straighten it.
Now, see, this is where he burns me up. He's saying mismanaged states, but his boy from Florida begging for money. Why? He didn't manage the money right. Why is he begging for money? Why can't he make sure that the money that the Democrats already had in the plan, why can't he, as the president, make sure that money go to his buddies? That's all I'm asking. Why he can't make sure that money go to his buddies? Anybody got a comment? He the president. The money's already there. Why can't he make sure that his people get some of the money? Instead of worrying about Democratic states, you don't want to give Democratic states no money. But your boy is begging for money. Florida is the most red state in the country. You talk about other people mismanaging their funds, but yet your boy got his hand stuck out.
It out in 1 hour. We will straighten it out so fast, but they have to ask us. So they need money, but they're not willing to approve the money that they need. If they can't get the money that they need for universal mail-in voting, I don't see how they can have it. And that's not only post office, it's also for the voting itself.
Does Postmaster DeJoy have your backing for the actions that he's taken in the last several weeks?
Yeah, he's a fantastic man. He wants to make the post office great again. You ever hear the expression? He wants to make the post office great again. The post office is a catastrophe.
Mail-sorting machines nationwide, that's one of the things.
I don't know what he's doing. I can only tell you he's a very smart man. He'll be a great postmaster general. And he needs, obviously, if you're going to do these millions of ballots out of nowhere, he's going to obviously need funding. But the Democrats aren't willing to provide other things, and therefore they're not going to get the funding for that. But you are going to have...
All right, hold on a sec. Y'all know that the Democrats want to give people that's in need, people that need to get food stamps, because they're not working. They need to put food on the table. The Democrats proposed 36 billion, if I'm correct. The Republicans say they're only doing 250,000. We got 330 million people in this country. Let's say 30 million people need their food assistance. How far is $250,000 going to go and put food on the table of 30 million people? If you divide that, you can't even divide it. How you going to put $250,000 into 30 million people? Let's say it's 15 million. How you going to divide 250,000 by 15 million families? How is 250,000 going to feed 15 million families that need food on their table right now? Somebody explain. I'll listen. Anybody? Republicans are out of touch. They out of touch. He's the president. If Democrats want to give money to the Democratic states, he said, the Republicans control the Senate. Why can't they say, okay, but we want the same for the red states? Why they can't do that? And then the states get the money they need. Why can't they do that? Why are they trying to feed 15 million people off 250,000? You can't divide 15 million into 250,000, can you? This is what I mean. Republicans don't care about you. They don't care. They show it to you. They don't care about you. They don't care. They show you to your face. They don't care about you. And y'all get mad when I say something. 250,000 is supposed to feed 15 million people around the country that need help. 250,000. If you divided that by 15 million people, I think it come out to a penny a person. What can you put on your table for food with a penny? I'm just saying, it's stupid, man.
A catastrophic situation with universal mail-in votes. And on top of it, the Democrats aren't willing to give the people the money and the post office the money.
You say the catastrophic situation is going to happen, but what are you doing to ensure that that doesn't happen? Because wouldn't these problems raise questions about the election results if you win?
Well, the problem with the mail-in voting, number one, you're never going to know when the election's over, okay? I mean, they called the election in New York for Carolyn Maloney. They shouldn't have done that. I think you should redo that election. And you know the opponent is screaming. They can't believe it. Ballots are lost. Ballots are defrauded. It's a total mess. And they called it for her. The reason is because I've been using it as a case. So, look, we are going to have an election that takes place on a beautiful day, November 3rd. And usually at the end of the evening, they say, Donald Trump has won the election. Donald Trump is your new president. Whatever they say, you know what? You're not going to know this, possibly, if you really did it right, for months or for years. Because these ballots are all going to be lost. They're going to be gone. And just take a look on a smaller basis. But it's great tests. We're doing tests. I mean, these are, you could call them polls. You could call them tests.
You could say that all day. But the reason people want to mail them in is because they don't want to go to the polling sites. If you've done a better job with this CV, we wouldn't have this problem. The CV is the reason nobody want to go to the voting booth. If you're that worried about the election, then why you didn't sign a bill for the post office? When you signed the other bills, why you didn't sign that one? Why you didn't sign a bill for the stimulus checks? We're listening. Because you don't intend to give it.
Look at what's happening all over the country where you have universal mail-in. Wait a minute. The ballots are lost. There's fraud. There's theft. It's happening all over the place. Now, we're going to do it with this whole vast, big section of the country. It's crazy.
You have made it so light that you are opposed and do not trust mail-in voting. Is your Postmaster General using the agency of the Postal Service to create delays?
No, not at all. He would love to see it happen. I didn't speak to him about it, but I will tell you this. I would imagine he would say, number one, they didn't give me the funding for it because it's sitting in Congress because they want $1 trillion to bail out states, just so you understand what they want. They want $1 trillion to bail out badly run, Democrat-run states, okay? That's what they want. They're not giving the money to the post office. They have to give the money to the post office.
Steps the Postmaster General is taking are creating some delays now.
No, the steps he's creating, yeah.
Are you trying to?
No, not at all. The steps that he's taken are trying to stop the tremendous losses that have taken place for many, many years. He's trying to streamline the post office and make it great again.
Oh,
okay?
now you got a link. But that is right.
Wait a minute. You just look. I just read last night that now New Jersey's going to try the universal mail-in voting. Well, they didn't know this, so now all of a sudden New Jersey is going to be hit with millions of ballots to be sent out. They didn't know anything about this. So how does a post office, how does a postal service that doesn't know about it, now all of a sudden New Jersey's supposed to take out and millions of ballots are going to be sent all over New Jersey? And if you look at some of the things they say, like take the state of Nevada, take that little scam that's going on over there with the clubhouse politician governor, take that, where the votes don't even have to be in till they get counted 7 days after November 3rd. That means if Nevada's a very important state, I think we have a great chance at winning that state. If the votes don't have to be in for 7 and they're not counting the votes 7 days later, that means how are they going to predict a winner on November 3rd? No, absentee is okay.
It doesn't matter. The workers have resorted. So the bottom line is there must be more resources for post offices across.
But the Democrats are not. They are not approving the resources. You're right. There has to be more resources. I agree, because all of a sudden the post office is tripling up and set. The problem is the Democrats are not approving the funds necessary. It's in there. Now they have 25 billion. I've seen 15 billion. I've seen a lot of money. I don't know how you can spend that much, but that's what they're saying. They're saying. So not only do they want $1 trillion to hand out as welfare to all these states that are run by Democrats doing badly, they want $25 billion for the post office. But they're not approving it. Now, what I want is a lot of money, thousands of dollars, to go to people because they need money. They really, despite the good numbers, despite numbers like that, they need money to live. And I want that to happen. The Democrats don't care about that. They just want to give bailout money to their friends running big states poorly.
Mr. President, you want to give the United States, the people of the United States, mailing. But you want to give Edward Snowden a pardon and bring him back. You once suggested.
Well, I'm going to look at it. I mean, I'm not that aware of the Snowden situation, but I'm going to start looking at it. There are many, many people. It seems to be a split decision. And many people think that he should be somehow treated differently, and other people think he did very bad things. And I'm going to take a very good look at it. Okay? I mean, I've seen people that are very conservative and very liberal, and they agree on the same issue. They agree both ways. I'm going to take a look at that very strongly. Edward Snowden. Yeah, please.
Do you agree with Dr. Robert Redfield, who earlier this week said if America doesn't follow public health guidelines, we could be in store for one of the worst falls we've ever faced from a public health perspective?
No, I mean, you can't compare it to 1917. That was incredible. That was the worst ever by far. That was, you look at that, they lost possibly 100 million people. No, I don't agree with that. But if you look at these numbers, they're coming down very substantially. And I do believe that Americans, many are wearing masks, which is a good thing. again, some people thought that you shouldn't wear masks. You know, when this whole thing started, Dr. Fauci, who I like and respect, said don't wear masks, okay? And so did Dr. Redfield. And then all of a sudden, it was like everybody should wear masks. And that's okay. People can change their mind. But wash your hands, good hygiene, all of those things, I think people are really doing it to a level that they've never done before. And when you look at the numbers, the way the numbers are coming out, I mean, it's very impressive when you see what's happening. By the way, Florida doing well. You see that? And hospitalizations, and you know, normally you would have had to build more like we did for the first surge. We've done it right. We closed it up. We had the greatest economy in history. We closed it up. We understand the disease now. Nobody knew what was hitting us, right? Nobody knew that old people would be very, very susceptible, especially if they have heart and diabetes problems and other problems. That old people would be very susceptible, and young people would be extremely good with it. If you look at the percentages, there are a tiny percentage that have problems, especially the big problem. So no, I think that we're doing very well. We're on our way, and we're also opening up our economy, and our economy is going to set records. And if stupid people aren't elected next year, we're going to have one of the greatest years that we've ever had.
Mr. President,
Jennifer, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. You've already taken action on TikTok and WeChat.
Yeah.
Which other Chinese tech companies are you looking at banning from operating in the United States?
Well, the big thing is Huawei, right? Huawei's not here, and Huawei I'm not allowing. And I've told European countries and others, Australia has been fantastic as an example, but Huawei's not coming here. And we told certain countries that we're thinking about Huawei, that's okay, you can use them, but we're not going to be sharing intelligence. And they've all backed away. You look at the UK, it looked like they were going that way, and now they've backed out. Scotland Yard. There are we're looking at other things. Yes, we are.
Mr. President, you say that you want the mail to be processed as quickly as it can, but why is your postal service dismantling these mail sorting machines across the country at this time?
Well, you'll have to ask him. I know this. He's a very efficient operator, a very good operator. But again, he needs money to operate if you're going to hit him with millions of ballots. And if you ask him, he will tell you, and he'll tell you very nicely, you have the money. It's sitting there. It's ready to go. The Democrats don't want to approve it. But I want money for other things, too. I want money to go to people so they can live very nicely, because China caused the problem. They didn't.
On the campaign, will you say now that Kamala Harris is eligible to run and be vice president?
Why is it not showing? Hold on a second.
So I have nothing to do with that. I read something about it, and I will say that he is a brilliant lawyer, that I guess he wrote an article about it. So I know nothing about it, but it's not.
Oh, no.
Why do you say that? I just don't know.
Oh, no, my fault, y'all. Why everybody ain't say something? Why somebody didn't say something? Y'all couldn't see that. That was my fault. Y'all couldn't see something. But while we're here, let's look at the CV numbers. Y'all ready for y'all numbers? $5,529,789 cases in the United States. 172,606 deaths. Closed cases, 3,072,794. 2,901,88, 94% recovered. 172,606, 6% died of that 3 million. We gotta go back. California, new cases, 8,625. 77 people died in California today. You just heard the president say Florida was doing good. 6,352 new cases in Florida today. They lost 205 people. They doing good, but they lost 205 people. This man said they doing good. They lost 205 people. They picked up 6,352. Texas, they picked up 8,058. They lost 160. New York, they lost 791. New York picked up 791. They lost 6. Georgia picked up 3,273 cases. I told you they coming for New York. They lost 96 people in Georgia today. Georgia. Illinois picked up 416, 15 deaths. Arizona picked up 933, 69 deaths. So guess what? New Jersey held them off. 192, 813, 192, 654. New Jersey held off Arizona. Look at that. Less than 200. There's like 100. 4 from 13 will be 9. 5 from 11 will be 7. So that's 79. 279. 279 cases. I don't think that's correct. 179 cases. Separate New Jersey. Arizona taking out New Jersey tomorrow, y'all. They taking them out. North Carolina, they picked up 2,472. They lost 55 people. No numbers for Louisiana. Tennessee, 1,289. They lost 19. Pennsylvania, 757. They lost 12. Massachusetts, 471. They lost 16. Ohio, 1,117. They lost 38. Alabama, 1,271. They lost 2. South Carolina, 105. They picked up 1,041 cases. They lost 56. Virginia picked up 912 and lost 11. Michigan, what up though? They picked up 1,058 and lost 20. Maryland, 818 new cases. They lost 5. Indiana, 1,044, lost 15. Mississippi, 825, lost 37. Washington, 459. They lost 9. Missouri, 320, no losses. Wisconsin, 829, 13 they lost. Minnesota, 690, lost 6. Nevada, 859, they lost 24. Arkansas, 851, they lost 13. Colorado, 300, lost 8. Iowa, 883, lost 6. No numbers for Connecticut. Oklahoma, 901, lost 13. Utah, 345, they lost 3. Kentucky, 632, they lost 6. Kansas, 61, no losses. Nebraska, 253, no losses. Idaho, 304, 4 losses. New Mexico, 142, 8 losses. Oregon, 405, 1 loss. No stats for Rhode Island. Delaware, 56, no losses. District of Columbia, 41, 3 losses. South Dakota, 94, 2 losses. West Virginia, 183, 3 losses. North Dakota, 122, no losses. New Hampshire, 16, no losses. Montana, 118, 1 loss. Hawaii, 282 they picked up, no losses. Alaska, 83, lost 1. Maine, 29, lost 1. Wyoming, 44, lost 9. Vermont, 8, lost 9. There ain't no numbers for them. Puerto Rico, 567, lost 12. Virgin Islands picked up 30, lost 9. Veteran Affairs. No stats for the U.S. military. Veteran Affairs, 226, they lost 15. Federal prisons, 39, no deaths. So, 5,529,789 cases. New cases today, 53,523. Total deaths, 172,606. New deaths today, 1,071 people died in the United States today. Naya says Donald Trump's younger brother passed away. The driver says BD, the northern states are doing good now. Yeah, because they got scared and got serious. While the southern states were acting like wouldn't nothing hurt them. Really backfired. Alrighty, y'all. I've been up since midnight yesterday. I've been up 22 hours. 22 hours, more than 22 hours. 22 hours and 43 minutes. I'm gonna get out of here. But I made sure we got the sermon in. No excuses not to get the Saturday Sabbath sermon in. I'm probably gonna sleep for a week. I already got my food in the microwave. I cooked ahead of time. So I can just heat it up and go right to sleep. So alrighty, y'all. Don't forget tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to go outside between 12 and 1, and we're going to sit out there all day. I don't know what time the postman coming. I ain't going to lie to you. I don't know what time he coming. So I'm going to go out there, and I'm going to be working on installing the I showed it to you, the selfie stick. I'm going to put it on the basket behind the seat, and I'm going to tie it down, and hopefully it works, and we'll have the overhead shot from the camera. I know we had it on the cart before, but we had it off on the right-hand side of the seat. I wanted to be in the center so you can get the total center view. I want you to get the total view so you can see everything when we go outside. And like I said, we got to wait for the mirrors tomorrow. So let me get ready to get out of here. As Naya would say, see you soon. There, you see I'm tired. As I would say, I'll see you later on today. Y'all have a great night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow at noon. Y'all have a great one. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks to Driver, Naya, Liz, Jay. Anybody else say anything in the chat? Let me scroll up. I appreciate y'all, and I appreciate y'all. We've been as high as 8. I appreciate y'all that been in the chat. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see y'all later on today. Y'all have a great one. Peace, everybody. Come keep me company tomorrow while we outside waiting.